1-week hiatus due to the Darkstone event. With me tonight, I have my host, Darkseed.
One day, one time, can I just after all the hard work I've done, just be called by my real name? This is so degrading. It's Dork Seed, okay?
Aye, Captain.
What's going on, guys?
Also, we have guest caster tonight who redeemed his reward for the Do You Think You Can Cast reward? Hello, Force of Will.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing this evening? It's not Sunday, it's Friday, so it's good to be on a different night. So,
dude, but Friday is the night where you can have so many things to do, and you're choosing to be here with a bunch of
absolutely, yeah, just have
okay Hearthstone dudes. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Also with us tonight, we have our matchup analysis and production assistant and interview manager for this week only, Mark Shire.
How's it going, guys?
That's code for he's our slave.
Or slave gopher. I've also heard gopher. He's gopher.
So motivated, dude.
Yeah, he's like the guy that we just give all the stuff we don't want to do. Like, hey, Mason, do this for us. He's like, I'm interview manager this week, and we're like, yep. What does that mean? It means you email the players questions for us. It's not fancy. Don't think it has prestige.
So this week we have awesome lineup. We have Smoked Salmon versus Blue Spartan in match 1, and we have Asuna versus Ham in match 2. What do we know about the first matchup?
It has big playoff implications for three people in this Discord right now, or on this broadcast.
Yeah, Initium Novum, who is Smoked Salmon's team, and Blue Spartan's team, and then Smoked Salmon, who's playing for Team Rank 5. Those teams both, they are not guaranteed to make the playoffs. And Initium Novum, I believe, as right now, out of a playoff spot, but they are very close.
They can play spoiler still. Even if they don't get a playoff spot, they can still kind of play spoiler, right? Or no?
Yeah, they can. I guess it depends on how badly they lay it on
Team Rank 5.
Team Rank 5. If they can, hold them to a very low week, then that opens up the possibility, I think, for the blue division to actually put 2 people in, because the third ranked team in blue is Prep Queen Concede at 117. Team Rank 5 is only at 123, so they can hold them to a low week, and Prep Queen Concede has a good week. Aeon could potentially jump Team Rank 5, and then Prep Queen Concede could take the second wildcard spot for the blue-red division.
So let's talk a little bit more about Aeon jumping Team Rank 5. That sounds very interesting to me.
Oh, yeah.
That's something I'm very interested in.
So in the blue division, Temporal Legends and Dirty Mike and the boys have, I believe they've just clinched the playoff spot. That's guaranteed to happen. But yeah, I don't know. Right now, Team Rank 5 is the leader in the red division, but Aeon is only 5 points behind them. So depending on how this week shapes up, a lot could happen.
Yo, can we give some props to Dirty Mike and the boys for just coming out of absolutely nowhere and putting together a really impressive season? 137 points is nothing to scoff at. That is super impressive.
Yeah, you don't see new teams come into the league that often and do well. I mean, we did see that last season with Hearthstone Academy coming in and going all the way to a championship. But it's really nice to see that.
But it's what Dirty Mike and the boys are doing is way different because they don't have a single player over 400 PR.
Yeah, their team composition is it's really cool. It's something that's really never been done before in this league, and I'm really happy to see it work out for them. I think it'll cause a lot of captains to maybe rethink how they're making their teams.
And we have Dirty Mike on for an interview. He was just a good dude. So I'm rooting for them every week. They're not playing a team named Aeon. So go Dirty Mike.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to have the back-to-back seasons to have a new team come in and win the championship. So, yeah, I'd definitely like to see. I think I agree that Dirty Mike and the boys are already sort of locked into their playoff spot as a wild card, but I would not be hurt to see them go all the way and take the season.
Yeah, and I mean they could still win their division. I think they're only 5 or 6 points behind Temporal Legends. So I mean, getting that 1 seed for the playoffs can mean a lot.
Oh, and actually, even more interestingly, they're playing each other this week.
Ooh.
Temporal Legend and Dirty Mike and the Boys. So this week will probably be for the division title for the blue division. So
that's great. That's insane. But yeah, that's good. And what about like Ham Asuna? Does that match have any like lasting playoff implications for those teams?
I believe it does. Let me scroll down here.
It has a lot of implications for Noob Central, who aren't locked into the playoffs yet.
Right. So yeah, Team Golden Wisp, they've already won their division. They're already gonna be in the playoffs. But yeah, Noob Central. I don't think if the playoffs started today, I don't think they would be in there. But Ham taking this one would mean a lot to them, and it'd be really impressive if they pulled off a winning week, seeing as how Team Golden Wisp has put on such a great show this season.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been really good this season. It's good nice to see them rebound after the season they had last season. They missed the playoffs, right?
For right now, for Noob Central to make the playoffs, they are going to have to jump Zenergy, who they are 8 points behind. And of course, Zenergy is playing NWA this week. NWA already has 1 win in the 5 seed. Dreaded won 3-1 against Dexter HS. So if NWA can hand it to Zenergy, then there's a possibility that that Noob Central can jump Zenergy and take the second wildcard spot.
Yeah. What team do you guys? I know this is kind of like off topic. We didn't prep for this, but just looking at this, what team do you guys think is like the most disappointing team of season 6?
Supreme by a mile, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's like when you have the America's Winters champion and Dr. Jinkaniki on your team, and you still are the second lowest rating or second lowest in putting points up for your team, right above the Bad Hombres. I think that you can't really say anything else except that's a disappointing season.
Yeah.
For me, it was probably going to be the Pod People because I thought they would do really well. They've done quite well in the past few seasons, so I'm surprised to see them as low as they are.
Yeah. It's tough.
They're just too busy making their podcasts.
I think for me, it's Hearthstone Academy. I think winning a championship and then coming back and being, basically out of it at this point is just really rough. I mean, you could say the same for us too. We're basically in the same spot. We were in the finals and we're on the outside looking in right now. So I guess those would be my disappointments.
PR does its job.
Yeah.
Buddy. When you first said that question, my immediate thought was Hearthstone Academy, just because of that. I think though, when you look at it overall, you have to say Supreme. I mean, ranked number 1 in the power rankings by almost everyone going into the season, and then being the second worst team in the league. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels really, really bad. Let's take a look at the matchups while we're there. We got Blue Spartan on Mage, Paladin, Shaman, and Warrior, and we got Smoked Salmon on Druid, Mage, Shaman, and Warrior. So, there's a lot of similarities between these, mainly Mage, Shaman, and Warrior. The only part where they differ is Salmon's got the Druid, and Blue Spartan's got the Paladin, which I think, that Druid might actually be kind of like an advantage to Salmon, because we know Spartan likes to play control decks.
He does.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because since Blue Spartan is sort of known for his control decks, the thing that really beats up on most control decks is Jade Druid. So my guess is that Blue Spartan will probably. I would not be shocked to see a Druid ban from Blue Spartan in this matchup. But it's I don't know. It's the Paladin. It's really weird because now we're starting to get more and more Paladin variants, because now we're getting back into the control Paladin variants. There's even an elemental control Paladin variant that's out there now, so that's running Blaze Callers and everything else. So it'll be very interesting to see what's going to occur with this this week.
I would say the main thing is just I'm really surprised that Smoked Salmon isn't bringing Paladin, just because of how versatile and strong it is overall. I think it's still the most banned class in THL, and for good reason. To shift over a little bit here, we have, I think this was not live when we started the show, but in the Initium Novum Team Rank 5 matchup, Starden, who is Initium Novum's 5 seed, beat Rogue JT 3-1. So that's really good for Novum.
Yeah, that's really good. So Novum is already getting a little bit of a boost there. That's nice. We're still waiting on the bans. I reached out to Spartan. He said he didn't have them at the moment, so that feels kind of bad. But oh no, geez. Sorry.
So after Seat Story this weekend, do you think there's any possibility that either any of these mage players, and every player brought mage tonight, any possibility anybody's going to bring Exodia mage to tonight?
I would assume no. I know Disguised Toast is a pretty popular figure among the community, but I mean, both these players are playing, in playoff matches. I'm not sure, or in matches that have serious playoff implications. I'm not really sure what advantages Exodia Mage has over just a standard like Burn Mage or Freeze Mage or something. Although, to be honest, I've never played the deck. I don't really know what its matchups are like. It's possible, but I think that these are just too serious of matches for a player to bring an untested deck like that.
I think, and if I remember correctly, we saw an Exodia Mage out of Ham when we had him on one of the streams. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ham bring Exodia Mage, but I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different player. Don't hold me to that. But I do have the bans if you guys want them. But you have to ask really nicely.
Please.
So Blue Spartan banned Smoked Salmon banned Warrior and Blue Spartan banned Shaman. Yeah, so okay. Blue Spartan banning Warrior, I don't know, what are you scared of there? Pirate Warrior maybe? I don't know.
I mean, some people just don't like playing against Pirate Warrior. Some people also just don't like playing against Taunt Warrior. I know Quest Rogue made the news recently for being nerfed, and a lot of people find that deck very frustrating to play against. But I think Taunt Warrior is, at least for me, almost as equally frustrating, especially just the RNG of the hero power.
Okay. Yeah.
And well, with that ban, I know we said Blue Spartan likes to play control decks, but now I'm thinking that Shaman is probably Token Shaman.
It's possible.
And the Paladin is probably Murloc, something like that.
Yeah. Shaman ban is usually indicative of some faster decks, so yeah, sure. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that. I think the last time that I saw Blue Spartan on stream, I seem to remember him playing Pirate Warrior, but I know that was only one of his decks, and I don't really remember. But I think he's someone who's capable of bringing, a wide variety of decks.
Sure. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and have them queue, and as soon as they're live, we will switch screens, and we will have, I think, Smoked Salmon on the bottom, and we'll have Blue Spartan on the top. Yep, that is correct. Smoked Salmon at the bottom, Blue Spartan on top. We'll get you guys into the match. Remember, hey, Detrucci, post the stream elements link in the stream so that way everybody can know to redeem. We got some awesome prizes up there. And just so you know, Detrucci, I'm in the store. The HOTS is sold out, so you might want to make some of those available.
I'll fix that.
Yes, sir. We already got Will in the HOTS, so you definitely want to get in there and play some HOTS with us.
Yeah, please come carry me. I'm not good at HOTS. So
5v5 HOTS, guys. Come on. All right. I'm getting in now. Got you, Gasm.
All right. So it looks like for Blue Spartan here, we are seeing a evolved Token Shaman.
Solid.
We see the Doppelgangsters in the evolve. For Smoked Salmon, it looks like we are looking at Secret Mage.
Yeah, I think the Kirin Torme and the Mirror Entity would definitely be a Secret Mage, but would be interesting to notice if he has any of the high-end value cards. I'm starting to see their rates of the lists. Interesting. Did Blue Spartan decide to keep the Doppelgangster in the Evolve?
No, he did not. He Mulligan. Okay. He kept the. Oh yeah, sorry. He did keep the Doppelgangster in the Evolve. He got rid of the default. So interestingly though, I think Smoked Salmon kept the Medivh Valet. And yeah, he does have a secret in hand, but it's also a secret that's very easily triggered.
Yeah, both secrets are pretty... No, the counterspell might not be as easily triggered this early in the game.
That one might not be.
Yeah, he's got that now. So, but yeah, those are really interesting keeps for sure.
All right, so it looks like Blue Spartan's just going to hero power here and pass turn. Smart Sam, I'm assuming it's going to be the mage and some secret. I don't know.
Yeah, do you really want a Stonehill Defender that bad?
I don't think you do, no.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Yeah, that's I mean, the counterspell's probably better there. It ensures your Medivh Valet goes off the next turn.
now that being said, though, if Blue Spartan decides it wants to drop the Primal Fin Totem instead, then that might be a little bit better.
Yeah.
You get some free Murlocs.
Getting free Murlocs would be nice. I don't think you ever do that with the secret up. Ooh, he's my Flame Tongue too. You'd want that for sure.
Yeah, that would be excellent for him. So
yeah, he wants that.
I mean, he can immediately trade into it, and as he get rid of the Karen Tor Mage. He could coin out Primal Fin Totem if he would like here, but I don't think that would be necessarily needed.
Yeah. I don't know.
I see. You're 2 turns away. I could see holding the coin for Doppelgangster.
Yeah, if you hold the coin, you could Doppel Evolve next turn, but then you get like absolutely no value out of your Flame Tongue Totem. So maybe this is okay.
All right, so he's gonna go ahead and coin out the Primal Fin Totem, which I think is fine here. He does. Smoke Salmon has the Arcanologist here. Let's see what he gets. It's gonna be second counterspell. And then just hero power down.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep. Let's see. So Blue Spartan gets the Firefly here. He could come Firefly and Stonehill Defender in a single turn, or if he just wants to do Stonehill Defender and then.
Well, I mean, you could Stonehill Defender and see what you get. I mean, there's no harm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to put too many 1-drops on the board. I mean, the odds of getting Doomsayer aren't that great, but it's still there. I mean, even a small percentage is still a percentage. So I don't know if you know you're gonna evolve, if you want to put too many 1-drops on the board. It's probably fine though.
And these are pretty. Well, he does have Tar Creeper here, so Tar Creeper is not a bad option. But
Tar Creeper's a pretty good dude. Yeah, you play the Firefly. It's fine.
Yeah, he'll get the Firefly out here. And then I think, he can go ahead and put low damage into the...
I don't know if I like the positioning of that Firefly there.
I don't know if I do... Well, I mean, I think I know why, because he wants to be able to kill the Arcanologist one way or the other.
Yeah.
I think the positioning makes sense, because the Stonehill has Taunt, so it's the most likely to die.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Now, of course, the with Smoke Salmon being able to play a secret and use the Medivh Valet, he can clear it out, and so he will keep his board around for the time being.
You definitely got to prioritize killing the Flame Tongue Totem, I think.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, the Flame Tongue has to go here. There's no question about that. And then, I mean, I can see Tar Creeper hero power.
Definitely Tar Creeper. If you know you're gonna evolve next turn, I guess you can hero power. It doesn't hurt. I just hate having too many 1-drops on the board when I know I'm going to evolve the next turn.
Yeah, it's like, I think that seems reasonable. It's just kill the primal, or kill the.
Definitely kill the Flame Tongue Totem. That thing's got to go.
You gotta kill that. Yeah. All right, he's going to. Yeah, he's going to kill it now, and then probably just push one with the Firefly, and then.
Oh no! One of these is going to become a Doomsayer. I just know it. I feel it in my heart.
Well, the thing is, he really has to get rid of all these before he can even drop the Doppelgangster right now. So
yeah.
So Smoke Salmon is going to go ahead and fireball the.
He doesn't have to clear these off. He can just drop the Doppel.
Now he can, yeah. So
yeah,
I think it's a pretty easy. I mean, of course, swing with your 3 creatures first, but.
Oh yeah. I mean, do you
Doppel evolve?
Do you ever clear off the 2/3 if you just to minimize your risk of getting a Doomsayer?
It wouldn't be a terrible idea. I could see that, and give yourself only one in. Only give yourself one card that they can turn into a Doomsayer. So I think he's probably considering that right now. Actually, he's going for Stonehill Defender.
Ooh,
interesting. Well, he did get Thing from Below. I think
Thing
he's already
from Below is pretty cool.
4 taunts. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. At Masonshire.
Yeah, he can't really go for the Doppel Evolve there, because that's counterspell.
You're right.
It's counterspell because of the mirror entity. So I think it makes sense to go for Stonehill. This means next turn you can go Doppel and use both evolves. And so he'll have the mana to do both. Only one will go off, but that's fine.
That's why Markshire makes the big bucks.
Yeah. So
Man, making so much money from this.
That's why he makes the big bucks, guys. Ooh, Pyros.
Well, Smoke Salmon does.
pretty cool
Smoke
card.
Salmon does pick up Pyros.
That's a cool card. You definitely want that earlier in your curve, but it's definitely a cool card to have right now when you have like nothing else going on. Shatter's not going to do much for him.
No, Babbling Boy just sort of took a dump on that, and then
Yeah.
it looks like he wants to go ahead and polymorph the
Yeah, definitely.
thing from below, and then probably ping it out, and
Yeah.
then just put 2 in, and then he can go ahead and drop this Pyros at this point.
Yeah, it's fine.
So pretty decent board here. Now he still has to worry about the counterspell at this
Oh,
point.
picked up another thing from below.
Yeah, I think he's. Let's see if he can. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna go for it. I think he knows that is counterspell, so he can go ahead and do it now. He knows he's
That's
playing this
fine,
along
yeah.
to it. So
Yeah, it's fine. It's really hard to going to be loose to this position unless he low rolls on these devolves, and he
well,
did
that's
not.
well, with the exception of Nat the Darkfisher.
Yeah, Nat's the only
most of
low
this
roll.
is not terrible. Yeah.
And Salmon really has no way to respond.
He does not. No, I mean he will get a 0 mana 5/5 here after he plays his counterspell, but
Yeah, you could just tack past that if you really want to, and
but the problem is though, he has to play the counterspell though because
he does. He has to play around the Bloodlust.
Yep.
But and like Blue really has no way to kind of hit around that counterspell right now. If he could pick up something like a Maelstrom Portal, that would be really nice for him.
Looks like he wants to drop Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah,
and
Sorcerer's
then
Apprentice is
counterspell.
fine. Just get more dudes on the board.
Yeah.
Seems good.
And drop the Cabal Crystal Runner. So now
Yeah.
that's a Firefly.
Yeah, that's not what you're looking for. But is it lethal? 3, 5, 7.
6, 8, 10, 13. Yeah, if he, I mean,
it's
yeah, he's
lethal.
gonna
So
do it, but
you
it's
go
cool.
for it. You go for it.
Yeah.
If it's lethal, you go for it, and then you just play cleanup, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
you
so I
definitely
mean,
crash in the 2/4 into something. You got to kill the Nat Darkfisher, right?
Yeah, it's like I was gonna do it into the 5/5 and then maybe put the Bookworm into it to finish it off, but
Yeah,
I guess he wants to keep it around,
I would.
and he will be able to add. Yeah, he'll be able to add a 5/5 to the board here too, with
Yeah.
thing from below if he would like, but he's gonna avoid it.
Yeah, he's just gonna be cautious. I mean, he doesn't really need it, so why bother?
No, you got board, and Smoke Salmon's gonna give it up. So Blue Spartan will win game number 1 with his Shaman deck, which will leave him, I believe. Let me bring up my list here. The Warrior was banned, so he's with his Druid and his Shaman deck, or Druid and Mage deck left. So
Yeah. All right, so I'm a lazy broadcaster, guys. I'm sorry. Please.
Wait, did I get the bands messed up? Blue Spartan band Shaman. Right?
oh
Yes.
No, well-
Salmon band Warrior.
wait, no, I thought Blue Spartan banned the Warrior.
No, Blue
Yeah.
Spartan banned Shaman.
Then that whole game was for.
No, it's
Nothing?
correct. No, it's correct.
Yeah,
That's
that makes
okay,
sense.
okay. It's like, all right.
Salmon had his Shaman banned.
Shaman.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
I
fine.
guess,
All right.
I guess there isn't much to talk about in that last game. That's just like Secret Mage it's very difficult for Secret Mage to come back on the board once it loses it without something like Yogg. And Salmon never even got to turn 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So Blue Spartan has his own Secret Mage list now, whereas Smoke Salmon moved to Token Druid.
It's really
So-
interesting to see the Cabal Lackey and the Babbling Book in Blue Spartan's mulligan right now, because those are cards that are usually switched out for each other. Usually go
Yeah.
with both of them.
Oh, he's got your boy Bittertide. That's coming out on turn 2 every time.
Oh yeah, he's getting coin, innovate, and get it out. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
coming out.
absolutely coming out next turn.
And the only answer Spartan would have to it is a Mirror Entity, which there's no way he can get it on the board unless he draws it this next turn and gets it out with Cabal Lackey. No, he's not going to be as fortunate. Meteor's an interesting card too to have in this list, I think.
Yeah, it seems like it's sort of some weird cross between
Or was
Yeah,
was
something
Meteor
weird.
given from the Babbling Book? No, Meteor definitely
Oh,
came
that
from
was-
the Babbling Book. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm out of it.
Okay, so
We got there.
So with Smoke Salmon's gonna get a turn 2 8/8 onto the battlefield, which is probably gonna be doing some considerable amount of damage. Well, at least for a turn.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely gonna do some work. I mean, Blue doesn't really have any good way to clear it though. I mean, he can fireball it next turn, but still has 2 health. I mean, I guess he could play his one.
he could do the value Cabal Lackey and put a ping into the Bittertide Hydra, but he'll still be one off. And
the Tar Creeper's hitting the board though the next turn, so I mean, you won't really you won't be able to use your Cabal Lackey to clear it. You're gonna have to ping it and then play the Cabal Lackey to nothing, and then it just seems like a really weak turn. Aren't you better off just like AIing here just to get some cards? I don't know if ping really. I guess, yeah.
It's like I think he's gonna go this route. I don't think I'm with you. It's like as soon as that Tar Creeper comes down, it's not going to live.
Yeah, I guess I'm making predictions based off of information that I have that Blue Spartan doesn't have. So that's a fair assumption. That's a fair statement.
Well, the good news is next turn for Smoke Salmon, he can drop Direwolf Alpha, Flame Elemental, and Mark of the Lotus all on the same turn. So
that's gotta be pretty good.
Yep.
And he's going to take another 9 damage from this Bittertide Hydra, and he's got no way to do anything about it. And he can't even clear it after he fireballs it. He's going to have to wait another turn until he gets his Meteor, because it's going to get another health boost. Yeah.
So, honestly, looking at Blue Spartan's hand right now, I might just consider dropping Sorcerer's Apprentice, Arcane Nullic, and draw a couple cards and see if you can get something that will actually help you here.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you're staring down a lot of damage every turn. He's gonna try to clear the. Not sure what this does for you, honestly.
Nothing really.
Maybe he's just trying death by 1,000 cuts on the Hydra.
I mean, turn 6, he will be able to clear it, but that's.
Will he be alive?
Yeah.
This turn. Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
I think you just mark if you're Sargent, right? Or do you go the Lotus? The Lotus might be better. Honestly, yeah.
Because I mean, I think it gives you a little more defense. Now it has to get through this, and now a Fireball will not clear this board.
Yeah, it's 4 attack for 1 mana, whereas Mark of the Shard is 2 attack for 2 mana. So yeah, that's definitely better. Yeah, I think if you're blue, you're looking for the bottom on the bottom right.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see a way you're getting out of this. So
yeah, you're looking for the button on the bottom right, and that's where Aggro Druid is so good. Like, it's got unfair cards like Innervate that just let it like get a card that shouldn't be played for another 3 turns onto the board.
I saw somebody on Twitter compare Innervate to like a Black Lotus from Magic. It's just like, oh, you get 3 mana for free? Okay, that's completely fair.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Well, that's gonna. I mean, does he ever still just die? I don't know. I don't think so.
3, 6, 8.
Barely.
Well, I mean, he can mark a Visarge
into Savage Roar.
The Dire Wolf Alpha, into Savage Roar or something.
Yeah, he could mark into Savage Roar. If he does that, he's got lethal. So I mean, he's got an out to lethal. I still think like it's probably safer just to play the Bittertide Hydra. Because then you have probably 2 priority threats that need to be removed on the board, and you can't remove both of them. He's just going to go for the win. Why not? Put them all in there. And it doesn't matter. Never punished.
He can still iterate out the Bittertide Hydra number 2.
Never punished.
Oh, no. Actually, he's just going to hero power. He's not even going to bother with Bittertide Hydra.
I wonder if Salmon is playing around maybe like some freeze effect off of Glyph plus like an Arcane Missiles or Arcane Explosion that could possibly kill him if he had 2 Hydras on the board.
Maybe.
Maybe there's some crazy RNG stuff that could happen because he's so far ahead. He has to think about the worst case scenario.
I mean, I can understand if Blue Spartan was playing his Shaman deck that you might have a concern with that, but it's like, I mean, he can. He's trying to figure where to put this Meteor at. I think you have to put it into the 10-4. Actually, he says.
No, you're just dead.
Yeah, now you're just dead. There's no way to clear it. So
Now you're looking for the button on the bottom right.
yeah. All right. So Smoke Salmon's going to take this one. So this moves it to a 1-1 match here.
That is correct.
And so let's see. So now that the Druid has one for Smoke Salmon, so that's done, and the Shaman has one for Blue Spartan. So that means we're left with the Paladin Mage for Blue Spartan and the Mage Warrior for Smoke Salmon. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
Okay.
that game was just Secret Mage. It's not a bad deck, but it can have those hands where it just has a bunch of cards that synergize with secrets, but no actual secrets. And having cards like Cabal Lackey in your deck just increases the chance of that happening. And that's what we saw. Like, Blue Spartan never drew any secrets. He just had those 2 6-mana 5/5s that were sitting in his hand the whole game. And that's not going to do anything against a good aggro Druid opener.
They were so secret, he didn't even know what they were.
So,
Got
so
him.
it looks like Blue Spartan has a Murloc, and then from the looks of it, actually maybe a somewhat aggressive Murloc, because we saw the the 2-drop that he mulliganed away the 2-drop that brings a 1/1 Murloc with it.
Yeah, that's definitely the more aggressive list. I would expect to see a Steward of Darkshire in the list too, with that card in there.
All right, and on the Smoke Salmon side, he does have Quest Warrior here. And you can go ahead and play Fire Plume Heart. Now, I guess considering all the different Murloc variation. Oh wow, what a pickup for Blue Spartan. Rightful Hunter can pump up the Grimscale Chum here, and
if you can
push 3 to face. And
if you can hit 1, 2, 3 Murlocs, you're in good shape with this deck, especially with the True Silver on 4.
Or better yet, if you just happen to top deck Gentle Megasaur before then.
This game might be over before it starts. I mean, he's got defensive tools, though. He's got the Tar Creeper, so might be getting a little carried away, but it's going to be rough.
Well, I mean, with the Murloc War Leader, the only thing he'll actually be giving up is the Grimscale Chum to clear through this.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to trade a 1-drop into a 3-drop. You're okay with that trade.
To a 3-drop, yeah, you'll take that all day. So
yep, that's pretty good. And you're going to push 4 while you're at it.
All right, so it looks like Smoke Salmon is wanting to play the Armor Smith here. Probably try to set up for. Oh wow! All right, so Blessing of Kings can. Actually, I think the thing here is just True Silver. Yeah, True Silver, and use your own face to kill the Armor Smith, and then.
You have more than enough pressure on the board right now. I mean, you don't really need to overextend. I mean, cards like Brawl exist, so.
No, you don't. And actually, I believe. Let's see.
You're only getting 1 armor out of that. I mean, that's pretty good.
As of right now, if Smoke Salmon cannot clear one of these off or throw a taunt in the way, this is lethal. Well, now is it still lethal? Let's see. 6, 12.
Yeah.
16. No, actually, the hero power took it away. So.
Yeah, he's just a little off.
But he's close, though.
He's close, and Salmon really can't do anything next turn except for Brawl. So maybe, even though it's not lethal this turn, it's going to be lethal over 2 turns.
Oh, he's going to go Blessing Kings. So he'll push
16.
16 here. If he wants to use his face.
Oh, you always swing with the weapon. This game.
Yeah, it's over. It's like you have Consecration in hand at this point.
Yeah, you can't do everything.
Yep, and Smoke Salmon's going to give it up. So Blue Spartan wins game number 3 with the Paladin deck, leaving him only with the Mage.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's one of those matchups where it just feels like super unfair. Wait, Detrucci, do I get these emotes from subscribing to your channel? Holy cow, these are cool. Do you guys see these in the Twitch chat right now?
Those are sick.
Church, how do I get those?
Yes, you get those from my channel.
Oh, I'm subscribing. I'm hitting the sub as soon as I can.
The level 1 is the Jaina one.
Oh, sick. All right, so we got. I mean, I like the position Blue Spartan's in right now. I think Mage. Well, I mean, it's a secret Mage, so maybe it's not even that great against a Warrior, but it might be pretty good against Burn Mage. So
I think Secret Mage is still favored against Taunt Warrior. It's sort of close, but I would say it's a solid favorite.
He's gonna have to have a better start than he had with the last time.
Having Fiery War Axe in your opening hand's pretty good.
Yep, that's actually an excellent opening for Smoked Salmon there. He's got the quest, Fiery War Axe. I probably might consider tossing the shield block.
Yeah, you definitely pitch the block. It doesn't really do anything for you.
For Blue Spartan, he can Kirin Mage and keep the Mirror Entity here. He will have the coin if he wants to coin that out on 2.
If you have the coin in a secret.
Now the real question is, do you, knowing this is Taunt Warrior, do you keep the Fireball in hand for removal?
I would never keep Fireball.
Yeah, me either.
I'm sort of surprised he threw back the secret, because Mirror Entity can be decent against Taunt Warrior.
And if you're keeping the Kirin Mage, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't just keep the secret.
And interestingly enough, Smoked Salmon also tossed back the quest. Now, I mean, I know Secret Mage can be aggressive, but is this one of the matches where you actually toss that quest away?
I would. Because you always beat the Secret Mage by running it out of resources, I think, and you need that hero power.
Yeah.
Well, he gets it right in hand.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, the quest is never your win condition in this matchup. Your win condition is taking the Secret Mage's win conditions away. But if it has Yogg, you can never really truly do that, but you could do a good enough job of that.
Alright, so Blue Spartan is going to play the Sorcerer's Apprentice into the Fiery War Axe. And Stonehill Defender off the top for Smoked Salmon will allow him to get a taunt here. My guess is probably Alley Armorsmith.
Alley Armorsmith's good. Bloodhoof Brave's good too. It gives you it gives you an on-curve minion, which is good. So, and
you
don't want to play Dirty Rat because you don't want to give him a free 5/5 that he didn't really earn. So.
Oh boy. Okay, so there's a possibility if he ever decides to drop Fire Plume's Heart that it's going to be counterspelled anyway now. So, and he's going to do it. Oh, he's gonna bait it right into the.
It's okay though, honestly. I mean, I don't think you really mind it getting counterspelled.
Yeah, it's much better to get your quest counterspelled than say an execute.
For sure.
Sure.
You're okay with that because you don't need the quest to win the game. You just have to stabilize and build up a bunch of armor and then just run them out of cards.
All right, so it looks like Blue Spartan on curve is going to play the Cabal Crystal Runner, get a 5/5 on the battlefield.
4-mana 5/5, pretty good.
Pretty good overall. So for Smoked Salmon, he has the option. It looks like he's going for the Dirty Rat here.
You saw a 5/5 come down. You're pretty safe with the Dirty Rat, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to pull the other Kirin Mage.
Yeah, you can execute whatever comes out, too. So you're not really scared.
All right, so for Blue Spartan here... Oh, actually, this is a pretty decent turn here. He's going to have Mana Worm, Frostbolt, Ping, and then put the uninjured Kirin Mage into the Dirty Rat.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good turn for Blue Spartan.
Oh, actually, yeah, he can even ping face. Yeah, I don't know why I thought ping the creature there. So, yeah, definitely good turn. Nice board. He'll be able to play Battling Book next turn to see what he can get. And actually, this is execute number 2 for...
yeah, they're all gone.
Smoked Salmon now, so...
Yeah, they're all gone. But, I mean... You also know that Spartan's running low on threats. You got rid of one of the 5/5s. You already got rid of one of the Kirin Mages.
It's like...
Yeah, so...
Yeah, man, that Cabalist Tome is huge. Like, Blue Spartan was running out of resources. That's exactly what he needed.
That's exactly what he needed. Absolutely.
So, yeah, we should see this come down now.
Yeah, no reason not to.
Oh, wow. And that's actually... Firelines Portal, again, pretty good in and of itself.
Spellbender's not great when both executes have already been used.
No, it's not.
Volcanic Potion's not great either in this matchup, but Firelance Portal might be able to help him out. Because it'll definitely help him trade into the Curator, put a body on the board, and then push 4 damage with this Mana Worm. So Firelance Portal's pretty good right now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Firelance Portal to the Curator and just put your Battling Book in there. And Let's see what you get off the Firelands portal. 3/5 Wind Fury, not too bad.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, Primordial Drake will pretty much answer that, but that's pretty good.
It will. Yep, Drake will come down, kill the. Well, how do you feel about Firelands portal number 2?
I mean, it gives you board back. I mean,
It does.
I think you almost have to do it, right? I think you Babbling Book first to see what you get, but
I think so. Yeah, Babbling Book. See, because I mean, if you can get a polymorph off of it, then you can just push 6 to the face.
Does he really want the Spellbender that badly on the board? It looks like he's valuing the Spellbender on the board, but I don't know what the Spellbender would even be targeting.
I don't know either. It's like the only spell in Smoke Salmon's hand is a Whirlwind, and both executes are gone. As far as I know, that's the only targeted spells.
Maybe it's just bluffing the counter spell, but you can't afford to play around that right now if you're Salmon, I guess. So
no. And on top of that, now he just checked for counter spell, so now he can drop Acolyte of Pain, or he could have dropped the other.
Yeah, he was checking for Mirror Entity there too, so he was just gonna give him the Acolyte. But that's good. That's good sequencing from Salmon for sure.
Yeah. All right, so I think for Blue Spartan here, definitely Babbling Book first to see what you get, and then from there, well, let's just see what happens. So
you might get another secret that makes your 2-mana 5/5 is 0-mana 5/5.
A free mana, free 5/5.
Free mana. That's my favorite mana. Free mana. Those cards are all broken. Every card that costs 0 is broken. I don't care what anybody says. By the way, Mason Char, we have to debate that at some point tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely happening.
Stick around. After the stream, me and Mark Share are going to yell at each other about why we think the Blizzard got the Quest Rogue ban wrong. Or nerf.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Spartan still just has to book here. Maybe he doesn't want to give Smoke Salmon more draws with his Acolyte. Oh, I guess you can potion first.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel great, though. Like, I really hope Blue Spartan has Yogg in his deck. Otherwise, I think he's going to be out of luck in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's more life for Salmon. You don't want to see that if you're Spartan.
Oh, and a Shatter. Oh. It's about the worst thing off the Battling Book possible. And yeah, Smoke Salmon just picked up both his shield blocks now. So
let's just hope that Salmon wasn't paying attention and he just thinks it's like a Yogg or something that's just waiting to come down. Yeah, this is a pretty dominable position for Salmon. I don't see how Blue fights his way out of it.
Yeah, because his board right now is his hand is a Mana Worm and a Shatter, and doesn't even have a freeze effect to go with it. So, and as far as I know, looking at Smoke Salmon's what he's played already, he's already played 1 Frostbolt. So I don't know what other value, with the exception of the second Frostbolt, that Shatter is ever going to see.
Yeah. Yeah, that Shatters. That's pretty much a dead card. Not pretty much, it is a dead card.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Unless he gets... No, he's out of... Is he out of glyphs?
I see he's used 1 glyph.
So he still has a glyph. One. So, I mean, there is ways for him to still get value out of the Shatter. So it's not, like, completely dead, but... I mean, can you afford to not play the Mana Worm?
I don't think so. Not when you have a 1/4 on the other side of the battlefield.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford it. I mean, it's just gonna die to this War Axe, but I mean, the game was already looking bleak for you anyways.
All right, so it looks like Smoke Salmon, of course, shield blocks. He's gonna do the Fiery War Axe. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Armor Smith come down as well behind the
sequence.
Actually, yeah, he should have Stonehill Defender first if he's going to do this.
Oh, yeah.
And those are pretty bad. I mean, theoretically, I guess we know he has Brawl in the deck. I could see the corner sentry to set up for a potential Brawl turn, but...
Yeah, I mean, he has Whirlwind effects too, but Hired Gun's probably the right pick there. Well, no, you have the Sentry. Mm-hmm. You could have played Sentry's 2 mana?
Sentry's 2 mana, yeah.
Oh, you have the Primordial Drake in hand, then it's probably Sentry every time. Just a 2 mana, 2/4. Seems good.
Pretty decent, so.
Yeah, Sentry's probably the pick there.
Now for Smoked Salmon, for Blue Spartan, this doesn't. I mean, my guess is the play is Mirror Entity, but
Yeah, there's not much.
it's like. But the question is, I guess, with the Wall Crystal Runner, do you put it into the 3/4 and trade it away, or do you just put it into the Stonehill Defender?
And Salmon's considering that, or not Salmon, Spartan. See, Blue Spartan I've known Blue Spartan for a while now. I've interacted with him plenty of times. We shared a Discord last season. He's got a checklist that he does on every play. The game gives him this much time, he's taking it. Even if he's only got 2 actions, he's going through his checklist. He'll take his full turn every time. And
which is probably a good strategy to do for that. So.
Oh, absolutely. I applaud him for it. I don't have the patience for it myself.
Well, Smoked Salmon is going to go ahead and play the hired gun, and he will get Blue Spartan will get a hired gun as well.
Yeah,
now,
but Sleep with the Fishes is cleaning that up.
Yeah, very nicely. And then he can armor up. Push 1 to the face here. Well, the Arcane Intellect almost right on time. He needs to draw some more cards and get.
He needs to draw Yogg-Saron.
Well, not Yogg-Saron, but he does have Firelance Portal. He can get rid of the hired gun if he so wishes. Or
should. Yeah, he should.
I think you have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
This is a really interesting point in the game because both players are pretty much top decking. But Smoked Salmon doesn't have Inevitability because his quest got counterspelled. So there is a slight chance that Blue Spartan can just maybe outlast the Taunt Warrior. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, all he's got to do is just find a board that finds a way to stick around, and then he could just, push a little damage over time, and that's it. I mean, there's no tank up anymore, so it's not like you have to, put on serious amounts of damage, but he's going to choose to get rid of the Armor Smith. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a pretty decent draw from Firelance Portal 5/6.
Really good. Brawl's a 50-50. I don't think you do it, though.
I don't think so. No, I think you'd be more than happy.
Primordial Drake's 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard 100% was better than 50% somewhere, but I can't remember where.
Yeah, much better. So Arcanologist, I believe he still has one counter spell in the deck, which he does.
Yep. And you just got to drop them both.
Yep, absolutely. Because then, I mean, it's not like Smoked Salmon is actually afraid of an Arcanologist on the other side of the battlefield, but it might make him think about dropping something on the other side, depending on what he draws here.
What minions could Blue get at this point out of Mirror Entity that can change the game? I can't think of a single one.
I can't either. It's like
Grommash Hellscream if he plays it, but is that even game changing? Not really.
No.
Ragfire Lord's in Wild now, so
that's not happening.
I'm out.
I'm out too. Yeah. So
yeah, there's another AI. Praise Yogg.
Come on, we got to see Yogg in this deck because
he has to have it. There's no way you stay in the game this long if you don't have Yogg-Saron. I mean, that's like
this long if you don't have Yogg.
Yeah, that's you're out. Your out is Yogg-Saron.
Well, there's Frostbolt. He can get point of reference. He can get rid of the Primordial Drake if he so wishes with Frostbolt
and develop a 2/3. Maybe that's how you get back in the game.
Maybe
you're finally getting that Shatter out of your hand. Value out of Shatter.
Oh, actually,
he doesn't develop the 2/3.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for Smoked Salmon, if he's got to know that Mirror Entity is one of those things. So I probably would consider throwing down that Ravaging Ghoul, because if you give him a 3/3, that's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Do you ever just develop the 3/3 for tempo?
Guys, I just got a notification that says Smoked Salmon has went offline.
Oh.
I did not get that notification.
I did not either.
Sorry, guys.
All right.
No, he's definitely offline. Holy cow.
Oh, boy.
That's a problem.
So, he was probably, what's bad is he was probably in a position to win this game from here, and I could be mistaken. A disconnect is a loss, correct? For
no, they just try to reconnect and play it out.
Okay. Well, if he cannot, I guess is the.
Yes, if he cannot reconnect, then it is a loss.
And that would give Blue Spartan the match.
That would. It'd be a really unfortunate way to lose a match, but these things do happen. Blue's a stand-up guy, though. He's gonna rope to give Salmon as much time possible to get back in.
Oh, Salmon just left. Yeah. So as soon as Blue Spartan plays a card, then
He wins.
Yeah.
Does that mean he wins the series or just that one match?
Well, that match and by
match.
default the series.
Damn.
They're actually, the rules might be different if it's the deciding match. I think it's just a loss though.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll pause the stream for a moment. Can we please check the rules and we'll communicate them to the players?
Oh no, if this isn't the last match, then it only counts as one game.
But it is the last match.
But it is the last match.
Oh, then that's it, I guess.
I'll check the rules. I'll just Control F disconnect on the rules.
I think it's still going to be a loss. No, I'm looking at the rules now. So I think, yeah, Blue Spartan's just going to win the series.
That is Smoke Salmon too. I think if that game would have played out to its natural conclusion, I believe Smoke Salmon probably would have won that match too.
That's very, very. I'm gonna message Blue and let him know. You win. That's very, very unfortunate, and I feel really bad for Salmon because that's usually outside of a player's control, but man,
right.
that feels really bad. I mean, are we bringing Blue in for an interview now, or are we gonna do that after the next match?
I think
it's probably better if we do it now.
Now, yeah.
All right. Yeah, because we got 20 minutes before the next match, so let's bring Blue in for an interview and talk to him. That is, man, I can't get over that. Like, you always hear about players disconnecting, but you never see it, and it's just super unfortunate for Smoke Salmon because he had a chance to win that match, and then maybe the next match after that.
Yeah, I think he did. It's like, and as I said, I mean, I believe for Blue that both Cabal Crystal Runners were gone at that point. So, like, his literal last out, and maybe we can ask him when he gets in here, is did he have Yogg in the deck? Because I think that was his only true out at that point was Yogg.
Yeah, Yogg Saron definitely was his only out at that point, I think. Maybe I could be wrong, but it felt like his threat density was super low at that point.
Yeah, it really just depends on what Salmon had in his deck too, because I'm not really sure. I think he might have had. I don't remember if he had a Stonehill left or not, but I'm not sure if he had that much value.
I'm gonna message Blue.
Okay.
About the interview. Tell him, come on in.
I should have managed that interview.
Oh, interview manager, not doing his job.
Shocking.
You're fired. We'll pull him in. I just don't jump in any channel. We'll pull him in. All right, he's in Gen Chat. Pull him down.
Pull him into the room.
Blue.
Oh. Blue. What up?
Hey guys, that was an interesting game.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate that had to happen. But we're curious. Are you playing Yogg Saron in your Secrets Mage?
No, I was not playing Yogg, so I was really trying to figure out what I was going to do with 2 glyphs and 2 fireballs against all that armor. It wasn't looking too good.
Yeah.
So you took, like, and I hate that I'm saying this and it's gonna hurt, but you took the DC line and it paid off.
Well, never concede, I guess.
I never thought of that as a strategy, but I don't give up until you have lethal on the board. So if you want me to concede, you have to put lethal on the board. So that's just my rule of thumb.
Yeah, definitely. It never concede until lethal's on the board. I agree, especially when anything can happen. Hearthstone's a wacky game. Who knows? Maybe the developers decide to put like a card in your deck that says do 100 points to your opponent, like between turns. You never know.
You know, it feels bad to use a Firelance Portal on a Armor Smith, but I wish I had that card earlier, or maybe I missed a chance to kill it and should have, because that was very interesting. Usually you counterspell a rogue quest, not a warrior quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if that hadn't gotten counterspelled, I think by that point, Salmon definitely would have completed his quest. So yeah, that was a real game changer.
Yeah, no, that was a great play. And we were saying on the broadcast that we thought that he was okay with getting his quest countered because it really wasn't his win condition. But as the game went on, you just did such a good job of keeping the board clear that it really became, well, maybe that would have been a win condition. Over time, I mean, I still think he would have found a way to win that match, but it wasn't getting there anywhere fast with what he had on the board.
Yeah, there's no way I can win once the rag weapon hits because it's a minion based mage and that just demolishes minions no matter how big they are. So it would have been game over for sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of your interview questions, which most players love. And there's one question you didn't answer. So, well, you actually answered it. Why? So I'm just gonna ask you live. What is your all-time most and least favorite deck? Like, what deck do you like the most, and what deck do you dislike the most?
Well, as far as my favorite deck, it's just because it kind of coincided with the time that my collection was finally getting solid. And I had been frustrated with Tempo Warrior at the time because, well, I didn't have the Warrior Legendary then, and I couldn't make it, and it's like, oh, this is head and shoulders the best deck in the meta, and I can't make it, and it was frustrating as trying to catch up with everybody. So the next turn of the meta, mid-range Shaman just went nuts, and I know some people just hate that deck, but hey, I had all the cards, and so it was the first time I could play like, hey, this is the best, like far and away, there's no question this is the best deck to ladder with, and guess what? I can do it, and I was able to kind of break through and get to Legend the first time. So it just has a special place for me just because it was the one where I really got some momentum in Hearthstone. As for the worst, just I find recently annoying is how good Quest Priest is in Wild. It's not good in Standard, but it's really good in Wild. And when I go over to Wild, I'm usually goofing off, trying to get some quest done. You know, maybe I got a Warlock quest, and well, I can't do that in Standard, but maybe I can sneak some wins in Wild at rank 15. And you run into 3 N'Zoth priests in a row that just, you know, oh look, he's at 40 health now, and oh, the board's full again. And it just, for whatever reason, I'm sure some people look at mid-range Shaman that way as being really annoying, but that's just one that I found that just was really irritating when I was trying to play a fun game, and it just kept getting in the way there for a week or two when it was all the rage over in Wild.
So having to kill your opponent twice is no fun. And you get to see
Reno's
Reno
not
Jets.
my favorite.
And you get to see...
Yeah, so you got Reno, and you got 40 health, and you got N'Zoth, and you know what else could possibly frustrate me this game? It's all there in one deck.
Yeah. Do you ever run into like a Reno and Zoth quest priest? Does that exist?
Yeah, I think that it does. Yeah, I think I've played against multiple of them.
So if we wanted to tilt you, we would play Reno and Zoth quest priest.
I think I would do it. I think that would do it.
And then you said in the finals of BlizzCon you wanted to babbling book Pavel.
Yeah, I'm a statistician. I teach intro to stats, year round. So I know that RNG evens out in the long run. So I wouldn't mind being in a position to benefit when it turns against him someday.
Yeah. No, the thing about RNG is people they focus on the. You'll probably know the actual term for it, and peak end. It's what I'm thinking. I can't think of it, but they focus on the really good things that happen and then the really bad things that happen, and they don't really remember every time RNG was just average.
I believe the term for that is results-oriented thinking. Is you notice the oh, this works this time, so this must be good, and then So you remember the really good and you remember the really, really bad RNG. And then it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, well, that didn't work. And so I shouldn't do this. And then actually doing that probably was the right play anyway. So,
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely true about the RNG here. So okay, so favorite band or music you listen to while playing Hearthstone. You said you don't listen to music when you play outside of game music, but what do you listen to when you're not playing Hearthstone?
Well, I'm in the praise and worship team in my church, so I tend to listen to Christian music. So kind of more contemporary than I grew up with. Now my kids, they like to listen to like Christian screamo bands and just some really
Yo,
on the edge stuff. It's like I guess there's a good message in there somewhere, guys. I just can't listen to it anymore because it's just not for me.
I listen to
yeah.
all the screaming stuff too. Your kids are cool.
Yeah,
There's a lot of cool Christian bands out there, though.
Like
yeah, they
Creed.
really are.
okay. Thank you. I was about to ask, what's your opinion on Creed?
You know, they're probably a little harder than I listen to, so I don't know a ton of their songs. But
Just kicking it old school.
They're doing their thing. You know, I'm more of a Switchfoot guy and things of that nature, and then maybe a little more overt than that. But yeah, there's some good music out there. I mean, church music was the thing for centuries. So
Centuries.
so there's still good music, and
Even going back to like Gregorian chant. Yeah.
right. Hook me up with some Newsboys, and I'm good to go.
Kicking it old school.
I really like Newsboys, actually.
And then in your interview question, we asked you why you thought you were going to crush your opponent. And this was the best part of the entire interview. You said, I'm not sure if I'll be able to crush the excellent player, but you do believe that salmon is best served smoked. Like, that's like legit the best line we've gotten all season.
Absolutely. And, so I didn't purposely smoke his internet connection. I don't know what happened there, but I promise it wasn't sabotage.
God, that's so savage.
Guys, I promise.
Savage. I don't know, man. You're like some like math genius. I'm sure you found some way to like dock someone's internet, like just DDoS them from your computer by like sending a bunch of math their way. I'm not gonna put it past you. You did it. I'm convinced.
I'm good, but I'm not that good, folks. Maybe the Russians. Maybe they can do it.
So, what do you think about Novum's chances of making the playoffs this season?
Ooh, it's tough. It's tough because we did not want to be trying to overtake. We were trying to hold off the Hombres bump, and now we're looking up at two teams trying to get in, so it's tough. But we're off to a good start, and all we can do is play our game. And me and Starton have won our matches and made up for falling flat on our face last week. And
yeah,
so
Starton just won right now, right?
Yeah, he won.
That was before this match started, right?
Yeah,
just
and like
before.
Wolfmac is absolutely killing it this season.
Yeah, he's the one seed I wanted to be, but all I know is a bunch of numbers. He can actually play the cards well, and he is just doing outstanding. So
yeah,
I feed him some numbers, and he goes practice the decks, and he just obliterates everyone. So maybe he'll coach me up between seasons so I can be as good as he is.
Yeah, he's doing really well this season. He's like 7-1, right, Markshire?
Yeah, he's tied with Fly Sly for.
Oh yeah, no,
right there at the top of the players.
Markshire just did the PPR and he didn't even remember. Feels bad.
Oh, I remember very well.
But thanks for coming on, Blue. It's nice catching up with you. I know we spoke a lot when we shared the Discord last season, and we've been kind of quiet so far. Hopefully, we see each other in the playoffs. You never know.
Hey, anything could happen, if get a couple more DCs from Team Rank 5, we could both be in there for sure.
We gotta just take the DC line. All right.
That's right. And I just want to say I've had kind of an up and down season. I haven't done that great, but it's still been a lot of fun, and maybe we'll squeak in the playoffs despite my poor play. Yeah. So
you're
looking forward to see how it turns out.
You're preaching to the choir, Blue. All right. Thanks a lot, buddy. We'll see you soon.
You're my boy,
guys.
Blue.
Bye.
You're my boy, Blue. All right. So what do we got coming on here? Ham and Asuna is coming up next.
Yes, they're up. Let's see. I think they're in game. I saw Asuna at least.
I think she's just doing battle and play mode. She probably just
okay.
for the new guys.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about their matchup while we're waiting for them to get on and get ready. We got a few minutes to do that. I mean, it's almost it's not almost a mirror matchup. It is exactly a
It's a
mirror
mirror.
matchup.
Yeah, they've got the same decks. They're both on Mage, Priest, Shaman, and Warrior. Again, I'm a little surprised to not see Paladin or Druid from either player. Those are just both really strong, versatile classes. But Priest has gotten a little bit more popular in these past couple of weeks, and it's sort of a versatile class as well. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. The feels when Markshire told me I couldn't bring Priest. Babble.
What? This might just be MV Parker 3-2.
Oh, what does that do for the playoffs? Hold up. What does that do for us in the playoffs? Like us, I mean Aeon us, not like anyone else.
I think it means we have to win a lot of games.
Oh, geez. Ooh, we're playing a good team too, so let's hope.
That's pretty crazy. Wow.
Yeah. But back to the matchups here. Like, so I'm expecting to see one Exodia Mage here. I'm just expecting it at this point. Like, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you. I'll bet my pen on it.
I was like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Exodia Mage as kind of a combo deck type to go with here. I'm trying to think what else we could possibly be.
It's like the
at.
only mage that like consistently beats Priest, I think. Right? It has to.
Correct. Yeah. It's like, yeah, if knowing that your opponent's bringing Priest, I think you have to bring Exodia Mage. Well, not have to, but you could.
You don't have to.
Sorry. Not
It is an option, but
it is an option. You don't have to. So the interesting thing I think here is because if it wasn't for the Priest deck, I could say that, you know, these could all be like Secret Mage, Token Shaman, Pirate Warrior, and you could have an aggressive lineup. I don't think you would have that lineup and then bring like a very slow Priest deck. So I could see this as being a control mirror, possibly. Maybe running Muzzy's Shaman list, mid-range controlling Shaman. Maybe Burn Mage / Freeze Mage. Taunt Warrior is definitely an option here. So
yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some slower mage builds. I think that while Secret Mage is a good ladder deck, I don't think it's as great in THL or in the tournament format. We saw it from both players last week, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Burn Mage from Ham or Asuna here, or maybe even a Freeze Mage. Freeze Mage, I think, doesn't do horribly against Priest. It's still difficult because they do have Priest of the Feast. But
you just need to get Tony to stick. You basically have to kill him from like 30, right? You just have to get Tony to stick for like a turn, or get like 2 or 3 fireballs from him if you could do that with like really cheap or free spells from Glyph. And then you can do it over a couple of turns. But you have to kill them from like full health. You really can't like Alex them, because then they can just feast.
Yeah, I mean, like historically, Freeze Mage has been good against any type of Priest, but it's definitely a lot worse now with the rotation of Ice Lance, so they can't really OTK anymore, because a lot of the time that's how Freeze Mage beat Priest.
Yeah, you have to do it over the course of a couple of turns now.
It's like any possibility, since they both brought Shaman, that either one of these Priest decks is Silence Priest, because that's just playing into Devolves is going to be a pretty bad time if you bring
I don't think you can
Silence
be.
Priest.
I don't think you can be. I mean, the only thing that Silence Priest really targets well is like Druid and sometimes Mage, but not all the time Mage. So I don't think either of these priests can really afford to be Silence Priest.
Unless you ban the Shaman. If you say I'm going to ban Shaman, then you might be able to get away with it. But
maybe
again, I would be very hesitant to do that, I think. So
I think against the aggro decks, just having the Primordial Drakes and everything else is just better. So I don't know if any of these priests can afford to be Silence Priests. Maybe I'm wrong. Markshire, what do you think about the priests?
I mean, I really they can be anything. That's the thing. Just I mean, Silence Priest or Dragon Priest are both solid decks right now, but we've been seeing Control Priest get more popular. Getting some really greedy builds with like Medivh and even Mind Control.
Mid-range Finja Priest.
It's like I know there's been talk on the ladder some recently of combo Priest. So like, I guess it's some sort of mix between Miracle and just the Inner Fire combo. So it's like, I don't think either one of these decks are going to be that, but there has been some talk about it on the ladder that I have seen recently. But as I think Dragon Priest I think is reasonable, or Control Priest would also be very reasonable in this type of lineup.
Sure. I think even too, like the Warrior, I think Warriors can probably afford to be more Taunt Warrior than anything, because if you're worried about Token Shaman, like Taunt Warrior just matches up really well against Token Shaman.
It does. It's like,
yeah.
And so does Dragonfire Potion, and if you're playing Burn Mage, so does Volcanic Potion.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, you could bring Pirate Warrior and just ban Shaman, and Pirate Warrior usually matches up well against both Priest and Mage.
True.
Yeah, there's a lot of things these players can do with this lineup, and I just hope, with all of my being, that there's one Exodia Mage. Yes, every time. It would be so lit. Oh no, wait, did we see Exodia Mage on the SHL stream? I think we saw it. Rip.
I don't think
we have.
No.
I saw Exodia Mage. Oh no, we saw Quest Priest. So no, is when I casted Salty Saturday, we saw an Exodia Mage, and I'm almost positive it was Ham.
That's possible.
That's possible. Yeah, it's like I believe the week where Friday Night Fight was the SHL special, I know we saw Quest Priest there
from Imposition.
Oh yeah,
right? From Imposition, because he was facing Arthur, and they were allowed to meme since they already had their playoff spot locked. So I know we saw Quest Priest there, but I would seriously doubt either one of these is Quest Priest.
I mean, like, I want to say, like, I think that might be the case, but, like, man, every time I make a definitive statement about anything, I'm almost always wrong, so I would just rather not do that.
I'm about to say, well, you know what? If anybody could actually bring it, Asuna could, because Team Golden Wisp is locked for the playoffs for all practical purposes here.
That's true. I mean, she could just be ready to go and have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like there's no reason, especially if you think that next week you might be playing Valkyrie or not. Sorry, you're not playing New Citra one way or the other. I don't think. But well, actually, no. You know what? I'm sorry, and let me take that back. If weird stuff happens with the rankings and everything else, and the points that are earned, it is possible for Noob Central to take the second wildcard spot. But if that happens, then I think you will be playing Noob Central next week too. So maybe that is a consideration that maybe we're about to see some memes here.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to give information away, especially since you're about to go on stream in a match that we're already locked up for the playoffs. Like, not to say any match in THL is meaningless, because they're certainly not, but in a match that doesn't really do anything for your playoff positioning, maybe you just don't want to give information away to the league about what you're doing. So maybe you do see some memes from Asuna.
So, all right. So what's the memeiest decks we can come up with? I can say Quest Mage, Quest Priest, Quest Shaman, and Control Warrior without the Quest, maybe?
Tempo Warrior.
Tempo Warrior.
I can tell you guys the last time I played against Asuna, she played Malygos Freeze Mage.
Ooh.
Wow.
Malygos Freeze Mage.
That was last year, though.
I mean, it probably would have been better then with the Ice Lances, so.
Oh, yeah, she had, like, Reno in there and everything. It was a lot of fun.
Reno Malygos Freeze Mage. That is lit. I'm just going to get a message out to Asuna to just let me know when she knows the bands. And then...
Are they actually... Well, they're hanging out on main menu right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to let her know.
It's not letting me accept Ham's friend request.
Oh, what? Do you have 200 trends?
I'm going to be cordial.
Oh, I do have 200 friends. Whoa.
Detroit's so popular.
Let me delete someone right here. Damn. Who to delete? Maybe one of the Winnipeg dudes.
Okay, so I got the message in to Asuna to let her know, to let me know when she knows the bands, and then to hang out. Ham, he's been on these before. He knows the drill. Let's talk a little bit about their questions. Do we have any questions from Ham or Asuna? I don't think we do we?
I believe Asuna submitted her interview questions.
Is it Asuna? Am I saying it wrong?
I honestly don't know. So she did say that if she could banish one card to hell forever, it would be Primordial Glyph. And I think for very good reason. That was one of the cards that was banned during Darkstone.
Yeah, it's stupid, right? You basically get to mortgage mana cost, right? So you pay 2 mana now, but you could get a card that you shouldn't be able to play for another like 2 turns, right? So I pay 2 mana now, and then I could get a 4 mana Meteor. Like, that's stupid. You just get to put 2 mana in the bank. Like, I hate that.
I'm gonna say I would not be surprised. I know because I think Ben Bro did a thing. A balance discussion today. Now that they announced the rogue change, the quest rogue change, and I think they said that they have their eyes on Primordial Glyph. So I would not be shocked if sometime during the year of the Mammoth that we do see a nerf to Primordial Glyph one way or the other. My guess is probably make it cost 3 instead of 2, or
that would be a decent nerf. I don't know. Some people
or decrease the cost only by 1 instead of 2. Would be the other way to go.
Why do you have to decrease the cost at all? I mean, do you really even need to decrease the cost? I mean, Raven Idol did discover a spell or a minion, and it didn't decrease the cost of anything. So does Primordial Glyph even need to have a decreased cost?
I mean, if Primordial Glyph is 2 mana and just discover a spell, I wouldn't see any play.
Does it need to see play?
I guess you can make that argument, but it wouldn't be playable at all. Then again, whenever Blizzard nerfs cards, it usually makes them unplayable.
Yeah, I mean, these cards are under no obligation to need to see play. I mean, they say it all the time. They make cards like Angry Chicken and Major Domo Executus just to be fun, kooky cards. So like, even though now Major Domo Executus Hero Power is broken, but it doesn't matter. Like, they just make cards to make fun cards. So they're under no obligation to ever be competitively viable. I'm giving away all my like debate topics right now, so I'm just gonna shut up.
That's
but
fair.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I hate Primordial Glyph. But she did say that she wants to boot Warrior off of the island forever. And you know what? I could get down with that, because Warrior just seems to, like, it's always the class that just gets tools. And you know what? Like, Warrior's got, like, so many different archetypes. Like, at one point, Warrior had a viable aggro, and a viable mid-range, and it had a viable control archetype, all in the same meta in Old Gods. And, like, it's never going to be bad because its classic and basic cards are broken. Like, so good.
Fiery Win X.
Yeah, it's never going to be bad because of those cards. So, like, I agree with Asuna here, for sure.
Yeah, and she also said her least favorite deck was Pirate Warrior, so maybe that points to her running a Taunt Warrior or some other slower variant tonight.
I guess that makes me a hypocrite, because, like, my favorite deck is Pirate Warrior.
Do we have the bans yet?
No, Asuna is preparing to battle a friend now, so I don't know the bans yet. Ham was a little late getting, on, I guess. So they're just prepping now, and she's gonna let me know when she knows the bans. But
okay, cool. So another interview question was we asked her what her favorite streamer was, and one of the streamers that she answered was Ray C, who used to be a player in THL. So it's nice to see that. And she also mentioned Ant and Asmodai, and I think I've watched all 3 of those streamers, and I like them for the same reason that she likes them. It's because they're have a casual, laid-back atmosphere, and they're usually pretty responsive with chat.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoy those casual, laid-back chats. Like,
I'm gonna say, it's like, that's one of the things I guess I don't know. I don't understand why I've never really gotten into it. I'm okay watching Twitch to watch events like Friday Night Fight or Hearthstone Championship Tour stuff, or even Seat Story or DreamHack. I don't know if I can just sit there and watch a person just play the game for
No,
3-4 hours on end.
it's
Just
cool,
one person.
especially when you do it with like THL dudes. Like I've hung out in Appa's stream a few times, and he's just like a really cool dude. And like he's a player in the league. He's a good guy. He's good at Hearthstone. It's just nice to network and make friends in the community. And it's always good to have those connections. Like I don't necessarily want to sit there and watch like a top streamer. Like who's the biggest Hearthstone streamer right now? You guys think?
Well, it's Kripparrian.
Okay, I didn't want to say Kripparrian, but
as for streamers that are good at the game, maybe Kibler is pretty big. Also,
I would say,
Plateau.
I mean, I could. It's coming from a Magic background. I could probably watch Kibler, or if you just put the camera on Shiro the entire time, I would probably be okay with that.
So Kibler is interesting, right? Because one, he's a Magic Hall of Famer, 2-time Pro Tour champion. He's insane, and two, he's a very handsome guy. So like that's also okay. Like I'll watch Brian Kibler. Fine, great. So yeah, Brian Kibler, Kappa Pride.
Brian Kibler from Brian Kibler Gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons that I watch streams is just to understand pro players' thought process and understand how they think through their turns to get better that way. I think a lot of people can improve their play just by watching good player streams.
So I have the bands.
Yes.
Asuna banned Priest and Ham banned Shaman, which makes me believe Ham might be going a little bit more aggro.
Yeah, I think that definitely seems reasonable. If Ham is banning Asuna Shaman, then I would not be surprised to see this as a Pirate Warrior, Secret Mage, and maybe even Silence Priest.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm going to tell them to go ahead and play. They're getting a little antsy. They're both asking me, hey, can we play? So they're ready to get into it. So let's let them go ahead and play. We are going to have Asuna on the bottom. We're going to have Ham up top. And this should be a really, really good match to get into. I kind of like mirror matches because that's where you're going to see a lot of the skill start to come through when there's not really a lineup advantage that's necessarily present.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of mirror matches.
And so when you have a mirror match, I think it becomes a lot harder to target in Conquest. Is like if you bring the exact same decks, it's like, all right.
Asuna has a screenshot question for me. So I'm just going to answer those questions real quick if you guys want to chat. She says there's an arrow but no second page. So I'm going to talk her through this if you guys want to chat while I help Asuna.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. You go ahead and do that. So yeah, I mean, now that the bans are in, Priest is a pretty uncommon ban, though, from Asuna. What do you think that could mean?
I'm trying to think of the decks that Priest just absolutely wrecks. And again, it comes to, my mind goes to maybe more aggro variants or something like that. Or, it's like maybe... I mean, maybe even for Freeze Mage. Is that Freeze Mage?
Here's a good question: if you have Priest, do you ever ban Shaman?
Depends on what type of Priest, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so easy to put in Dragonfire potions and then Primordial Drakes, and then you have a really good matchup against Shaman.
Well, I mean, from Asuna's point of view, Burn Mage is usually unfavored against Priest. So it might be that. And, the Evolved Shaman, that's actually unfavored against Dragon Priest, just because they have difficulty dealing with beefy minions like Twilight Drake and Draconid Operative, and also Dragonfire Potion is very strong. So maybe we're going to see those two archetypes out of Asuna. I would think that Warrior is generally going to be favored against the Priest deck, but maybe not. That Taunt Warrior matchup is pretty even, actually. Sometimes Priest can get multiple Engrow packs from Shadow Visions.
So.
And I think they're getting into their first match now.
Okay, they're getting in? All right. Let's see. Oh, yep, they're in. All right.
Yeah, sorry, I was communicating with Asuna about turning on the spec for me.
That's good to know.
Oh, we got a bit of we got some Jades in this build from Ham. And you were right on the money there, Markshire, with the Burn Mage for sure.
Yeah, definitely Burn Mage. This, I would say for Ham here, I would say this almost looks like Muzzy Shaman, but the catch is, one, I don't think Muzzy Shaman runs Primal Fin Totem. Even though it does run Jade Chieftain.
That is, yeah, I'm not sure I've seen Bloodlust and Jade Chieftain in the same deck ever. That's an extremely interesting build.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jades and the Bloodlusts are really weird, but maybe he's just making it so that way he can get more Jades on the board for an Evolve.
I'm about to say, and along those same lines, I don't think Token Shaman runs Manatide.
No, they do.
Oh, they did?
Okay. Yeah, it does. It's usually there as a 2-0.
Okay.
And yeah, right now I think Ham can just go ahead and play that Manatide, even though it dies pretty easily. Really just needs to make a solid play on curve here.
Yeah, and he's got to just draw a card.
Well, but it looks like he's gonna try to get rid of the Arcanologist here using his weapon, and I mean it's a 1-drop. It's nothing too terrible here, but I mean there's not a whole lot of healing going on. I think Asuna can probably just ignore this for the time being.
Yeah, I would agree. You could ignore it. I mean, you could glyph right now just to see what you can get out of it. None of these are really great. Maybe Mana Bind's okay. It's the best of your options.
Yeah, still nothing great there, but as I mean, I guess if you could theoretically get a Bloodlust off of it, or
I mean, Shaman plays really cool spells. I mean, now that I think about it, they play Jade Lightning, they play Maelstrom Portal, they can play Lightning Storms. They can play Devolves, but I don't know if you'll ever see a Devolve. But I mean, you know what? Shaman has got really good spells, so maybe Mana Bind's okay.
I think it's fine here. I mean, you don't really want to use removal to kill off this Light Warden because it can just die to Volcanic Potion next turn.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want to kill them, the Light Warden. You want to keep that thing. I mean, it's just doing 1 damage to you. It's really not like doing anything, and you're gonna play Volcanic Potion organically at some point anyways, so it's fine.
Alright, so for Asuna here, she does have the option if she wants to ping and then drop the Volcanic Potion. That will ping the Jade Spirit, and then Volcanic Potion will clear this board up this turn, if she would like. But I mean, I could also see Medivh's Valet.
I think this is as clean of a potion as you're gonna get.
Don't worry, no one else heard that. My daughter brought me some water, and I thanked her, and everybody laughed, but I muted myself on stream first.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, and then I just told everyone.
So, all right, so yeah, Asuna is going to go ahead and core this board here. I think for Ham, I think this is a good board for Manatide.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And yeah, you can drop the Primalflint Totem, so
yeah, why not?
You get to draw a card,
you get value out of both of these totems immediately. You discount your thing from below's by 2.
I think you definitely want to put that Manatide totem on the left, though, especially because you have the Flame Tongue in hand.
Yes, I agree.
Well, Asuna will be able to clear the board here.
It all becomes moot very quickly.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, so Ham does pick up the thing from below here. He can cast it this turn. Actually, he can. If he wants to, he can do Hero Power, Flame Tongue, and play the thing from below in the same turn if you would like. Here.
He could do all of that. He can develop the weapon and play the thing from below. He's got options. Certainly has options. The thing from below is just gonna be an easy target for the Firelens Portal.
It is.
Maybe you just want to go as wide as you can then. This is fine. I like this.
Yep.
I would think you would want the thing from below on the left again too, right?
Yeah, you definitely would.
Because you want your totem that's going to die to spawn where all the other totems are going to come from. So definitely just some positioning errors there for sure. So hopefully if Ham watches the VOD, he can get some feedback on that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, positioning matters.
All right, so with Asuna here, of course, you can clear everything but the Flame Tongue this turn, if she would like. I could, yeah. So you can Firelens Portal. So you get, hey, Harrison Jones is here.
He's a good dude, just a good dude.
He's just a good dude, good body. So I could see, yeah, put the Medivh's Valet into the Wrath of Air totem seems reasonable here. Well, okay. Well, hello, Ham. Hammer of Twilight comes to hand.
That's a pretty good card.
Wow,
I
I'm
just
just not really sure what this Shaman list is anymore. Hammer of
No.
Twilight is a card that I ran in Darkstone when Patches was banned. But it's interesting. Not something you see that often, but I don't think it's a horrible card to run in Shaman.
It's not terrible. It's just,
If you're thinking in terms of like evolve, if he even has it, but it leaves behind a 4-mana minion, which can become a 5-mana minion. And there's a lot of good 5-mana minions out there, so I mean it's not terrible.
I'll say I could make the argument here for Asuna dropping this after she draws a course. Well,
Oh, that ooze is coming down every day.
that ooze is coming down. Yeah, just blow up the weapon, blow up the kill the flame tongue totem, and leave him with a 3/3 and a 0/2.
Oh wait, but he gets the 4/2, so now maybe that weapon's not going to die.
No,
That's
The
not
Jade,
Hammer of Twilight.
yeah, it's the Jade Claws. So
Oh, that's a J Claws. Never mind. Yeah, you kill that weapon. Do it.
So the real question is, I don't think you drop the Mana Worm with the Jade Golem out there. So really, there are better targets. So it looks like Asuna's just going to hit the face here.
Yeah, you don't really get a lot of. I mean, you're still holding like a swing card in your hand with Meteor, so like if you can hold the Mana Worm until you're going to play the Meteor, it seems pretty good.
All right, so for him here, he gets the Saucy Deckhand to hand. Now he does have a weapon, and he can drop the Saucy Deckhand this turn if he desires.
Seems fine. He could clear
Yeah.
the Harrison Jones too with his face if he wanted to.
He's actually hovering over the Bloodlust there for a second, but I was like, this is not really the board I think you want a Bloodlust. But
Yeah, not really. You're close. You're getting there. I mean, you could clear off. You could clear the board entirely.
Actually, he's just going face.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
With
okay,
the 3/3. Yeah. No, this is fine. Yep, you go face of the
Yeah, this is
3/3.
reasonable. Yeah,
I like it.
keeps your 3/3 alive, and
That's a pretty good Doomsayer. That's going to ensure that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Doomsayer, I wonder if that means Asuna is running the Burn Mage list with Doomsayers
I love
and
that
Acolyte
list.
of Pains.
I love that list. The Johnny Doom
yeah, I think
list.
so.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, is there a possibility this could? Well, I mean, we haven't seen a freeze effects yet, but there are still 15 cards in the deck. Is
Well,
there
that
any
list doesn't even run
possibility
any
this is
freeze effects.
Well, not that one, but I mean, could it still just be straight freeze mage? Is what I'm
Doubtful. We saw Volcanic Potion. We've seen
Oh, you're
Meteor
right.
now. Yeah, there's no way that
Yeah,
this is like a
thinking.
typical
Correct. Okay,
freeze mage.
so
Yeah. I think you Meteor and then you Doomsayer. Like you're basically ensuring that your Alexstrasza hits the board on an empty board, and then from there you just win unless Ham could immediately answer it.
Wow, Meteor coming out on a 0/2.
It's like-
I don't hate it though.
No, it's
I
fine.
said that's just a statement. It's just like, all right, well, I'm not even gonna aim for your 3/3. I'm just gonna aim for your totem and still kill your stuff.
Yeah. You can even squeeze in this Mana Worm too. Why not?
Yeah, I think yeah, Mana Worm, Firelands Portal, see what you get.
No, you're just gonna Mana Worm Alexstrasza.
Yeah,
Oh.
you got Alex here.
Yeah, you're gonna Alex
Get
every
that
time.
8/8 on the board.
Even
Yeah.
though it's only 2 damage, it's still an 8/8 on the board. This represents lethal every time. 60% of the time, this is lethal every time.
It's like, well, for him, he does have the answer to the Alexstrasza in hand. In fact, actually, he can, if he kills the Mana Worm first, which I would probably recommend doing. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so gets a free Jade Lightning out of it, so more burn to the hand.
Top decking the Hex is huge for him. It lets him
Yeah.
hang around a little bit longer. I don't think it ultimately matters. I think there's more than enough damage to just kill him over 2 turns, but
Well, there's Counterspell, so
yeah, you can just
Uh,
counterspell Jade Lightning, Firelands Portal, and that sets up for Fireball lethal, unless he runs any type of healing cards like
that'd be 9 damage. So put you at 6. So set up for the Fireball the next turn.
Yep. Gotta change the color on the bands here, guys. Give me 1 second.
All right, so don't hold the Jade Lightning. I mean, I guess it's free. It's fine either way to hold off on it, but I think Cam's gonna try to throw down a couple of taunts, thinking he is going to be safe. Unfortunately for him, he is not.
No, yeah, Asuna's got this one pretty good. I'm just gonna go ahead and change the color now, unless there's a DC. You gotta take the DC line.
Hey, we saw the DC line work once already tonight, so.
Yeah. Ellie giggle.
All right, so yeah, with that,
that's just a good game.
Asuna will win game number 1 here with Shaman, and so that's going to leave up her. Let me get back to my lists here.
She'll have her priest and warrior left.
So Markshire, what'd you think about that game? You see anything good? And please take your time so I can finish eating my corn.
I thought it was pretty good. I really liked, even though it was kind of funny to see the meteor come down on 0-2, I really liked that play because it let Asuna set up the Alexstrasza and Mana Worm on an empty board, and that forced Ham to be reactive, and he sort of had to. He had to play the Jade Lightning first to play around Counterspell. I think that ended up giving Asuna the damage needed to end the game.
Yeah, it absolutely did. So it's like, I mean, let's see. So, I mean, should he have it, or should Ham have any expectation that was mana bind?
No.
I don't I just think that he has to play around Counterspell first. Like, it really sucks, and he definitely would have wanted Hex first if it was mana bind, but ultimately it's better to play around Counterspell or Spell Thunder. So I think Ham made the right play there. It just didn't work out for him.
100% agree. Yeah, I mean, because if Counterspell hits the Hex, it's game over on the spot. So yeah, you had to. Yeah, you had to do that. That's the right ordering for sure.
Wow, Volcanosaur and Taunt Warrior?
Yo,
Whoa.
it counts as a taunt minion. I've been saying it counts as a taunt minion.
All right, so Ham's got of course Quest Warrior. Asuna here, this appears to be, well, it's either Control or Dragon.
Could be both.
Seems like it's Dragon Priest.
It's definitely Dragon Priest, but she's got some value cards in there. She's got the Elise Trailblazer. She's got the Shadow Vision. Well, they all run Shadow Visions. That card's just really good.
Yeah, Elise is, I would say it's pretty common in Dragon Priest. I know that Pizza was running it in his Dragon Priest list.
Oh, no.
The Stonehail is not as likely as inclusion, but it's not a horrible card.
I think if you're Asuna there, you have to coin out the Shadow Visions. You almost always hit the Power Word Shield, and that helps your Radiant Elemental stick around. So that's a feels bad moment.
So for Asuna here, these
Shamblers.
Shambler. I think it's Faceless Shambler.
I think Shambler's good, especially in a deck that can buff your body, right? So you have the Power Word Shields, and she's got access to multiple of them with Shadow Visions. Maybe Faceless Shambler is the play. You don't need a lot of attack. You just need a bunch of health on Shambler, and it's doing its job.
I think with holding 2 Primordial Drakes in hand, and obviously there'll probably be some more high health minions in the deck. Yeah, I like Faceless Shambler, especially if you're playing. If this is Dragon and you're playing the Twilight Drake, I believe with the they get like a 4/8 or something like that, and then actually she went with a hired gun.
Yeah, Markshire, tell me how wrong I was for wanting Faceless Shambler.
For wanting the Shambler? I don't know. I guess the argument is that if you already have a big minion on the board, you're probably going to win anyways, so it's sort of a win more card. I can't really fault Asuna for taking the hired gun there, just because she doesn't have any other minions that she can play right now. Her hand is just 8 mana minions, and then spells that are really not doing that much in this matchup.
Oh, the Snap Shadow Word. Feels good.
It's like,
deny all of the Armorsmith value. I think Ham just really wants to kill that Soul Defender. I don't think you have to be in a rush to do that. I think you just drop.
I don't think you have to be. Yeah, I honestly probably would prefer the Bloodhoof Brave here. I think.
Yeah, get you closer to your quest. And I think there's better things you could have done with the Ghoul, especially since you run a card, You run executes. You run sleep with the fishes. I just think that that's a pretty poor use of resources.
Second snap pick Shadow Word Pain for
Wow.
Osama there. It's like now, okay. So here's a thought with this matchup. You're playing against a deck that has a lot of high health, very low power minions, including things like Alley Armor Smith, Dirty Rat. Is it considerable to Bloodhoof Brave? Is it considerable to maybe not snap those off as quickly as had occurred the past couple turns?
I don't know. I always get yelled at for making snap picks, so I'll defer to Markshire.
I think I think she could have thought about saving that because you're not really under much pressure from cards like an Armor Smith or even a 3/3 isn't that bad.
No.
Yeah, this Elise is a huge pickup for us.
It's a huge
She just really
pickup.
needs to get a minion on the board, but she's out of her Shadow Visions.
That's
She'll
the
only
point I
have
was
one
going to make.
pack.
Yeah, that's the point I was going to make. You know, you're out of Shadow Visions, and that's like the big draw to running Elise and Priest is getting the Shadow Visions, right? So you can't
get a free pack.
Yeah, you can't get those free packs. So you know she's just like a poor free to play player right now. She just gets her one pack.
Oh man, I know all about that being free to play.
You know those feels. So that's the world she's living in now.
Okay, so now we can definitively say this is Dragon Priest because Control Priest does not run another Spite Historian. So.
We've been there, man. But I think it could be both. It could be a Dragon Priest that leans towards having a lot of control tools.
Well, I have seen Dragon Priest lists that are just running Primordial Drake, Draconid Operative, and Nether Spite Historian, which I guess is still technically Dragon Priest, but with a lot less dragons. Maybe she's going for one of those builds.
She's just gonna take a full clear here, and this is good enough.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I mean she's in no hurry,
but she did not sequence that right though.
No,
you gotta attack him first.
That.
Yeah. So she's going to take 5 to the dome, but Volcanosaur, you got to find Taunt or else it's not good to you. You need to find Taunt. Can't be targeted, it's good enough.
That's one.
Oh, never lucky. But I think you take the Wind Fury.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but
I don't even think that getting Taunt would count for the quest, would it?
It does, because it says summon a Taunt minion, not play a Taunt minion, so Taunt counts for the quest.
But,
no, it says play.
Says play taunt.
Oh, never mind. So yeah, wait, does it? Because the adapt ends up giving it taunt, so I think it still counts.
I'm not sure, but I guess
I'm not sure
you won't know now.
Chat, help us out. Let us know. Does it count? I don't know. This is the worst part about having 10-minute delay. We won't know for 10 minutes. Oh yeah, that's prime bookworm target right there. That's
it is.
Public enemy number 1. But Asuna's got to be careful with her health. She's running low.
Now, that's what I was thinking. Is like this might be actually a Dragonfire pushing turn because you cannot let a 4/4 or 5/4 Wind Fury sit on the battlefield.
No, yeah, absolutely. And you could worry about the Alley Arbor Smith next turn.
But
I really like this.
Yeah,
it might be a good turn to. I was gonna say maybe another Spite Historian because.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
I mean, if you don't use the coin now, when are you ever going to use it? So I think like Nether Spite coin hero power is probably a little bit better there because now she's running into a situation where that coin's just sitting around. It's not really doing anything.
Well, the good news for Asuna here is, well, okay, it wasn't until the Tar Creeper came down, but Primordial Drake will actually clear this off pretty well at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, still, Primordial Drake contests really well.
It does. And actually, now if she wants to, she can actually drop the Nether Spite Historian here.
She could have coined the Talon Priest. She would have made me look like an idiot for saying, when are you ever going to use the
coin? I would like to see the Nether Spite there over the heel.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Nether Spite or Cabal Talon Priest, one or the other. But, yeah, she had a prime opportunity to make me look like an idiot, and she passed it up.
I guess Talon Priest. Well, I guess Talon Priest would have played around Shield Slam, right? Or no, it wouldn't have. It still would have played the Shield Slam. So Nether Spite was better.
Yeah, for sure. I think she's just getting really scared of her life total, and maybe it's a clue that she doesn't play Priest of the Feast potentially.
All right, so Asuna can Nether Spite Historian and then play the Bookworm after it. Well, Draconoid Operative is pretty decent here.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Alex Strauss is good too. You know, she's running low on health. That can help get her back up to 15.
Very true.
And develop a good dude on the board. Bookworm, just good enough. Cleans it up, heals the face. Good turn.
So I guess at this point in the game, Asuna, she has so much value in her hand, and her opponent only has 2 cards in hand. She's thinking the only way she loses the game is by her opponent getting Rag Hero Power down the line. So that's why she wants to heal her face every turn.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's a good Shadow Word Pain. Do you ever use Alex Straza on your opponent, or no? You're just saving it as a defensive tool at this point. I would like to think you're saving it as a defensive tool.
I think your opponent is 2 away from completing their quest. I think you say that Alex Straza every single time for yourself.
Well, I think you have to save it just so you proc your Nether Spite. Now this Alcina is going to have to pick up another dragon in order to proc her Nether Spite.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on there that I think, maybe. Oh, that's a good one too. No, never stealth. Don't do it. Ham hovered stealth for like half a second. Never stealth.
Can't be the target of.
Yeah, can't be targeted is just fine. They run a card called Shadow Word Death, and you want to avoid that.
Interestingly enough, actually both Dragon Fire potions are gone. Correct. Or did you get one off of Shadow Visions? No, they didn't.
No,
they were both
gone.
natural. Yeah.
There's second Shadow Word Pain, but that does not help.
The 4th pain of the game.
She could draw some more cards here, should she choose.
She can. So. Yeah, drop Nether Spite or Northshire, heal up. And actually...
she draws a dragon.
That's the dragon she needed.
Oh, Ysera, every time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's every time.
Pretty decent.
And this is going to bait the Brawl out, too, so... This is just good.
This is excellent, yeah. This is...
Ysera's just a good dude.
He's gonna execute so that we make sure the Alex Straza cannot win the Brawl.
Wait. Shouldn't he have brawled there?
Absolutely.
He can still brawl, can't he? Why did he not brawl? Yeah, that's odd.
Don't play the Ysera. Oh, she knows. She's waiting for the Brawl.
Yeah. Let's see. Curator could probably get some Dragon out of the deck here. So,
Absolutely.
I don't hate the Curator.
Yep, Ornery Direhorn's good too. They're both good. Ornery Direhorn is closer to killing your opponent. I think that's where Asuna wants to be right now.
Now, interesting enough, we have not seen a Dirty Rat from Ham yet. So if he's running Dirty Rats, the Dirty Rat will pull a pretty high value target if he gets it.
This is a Brawl turn. I'm not sure what you're really waiting for here. This is the moment you've been waiting for, Ham.
I guess complete the quest. It's like...
Yeah, but he can't really play it right now.
You have to take Primordial Break here, right?
Yeah.
Actually, how much mana do you have left over? 7?
I mean, it's a 4-attack minion.
Oh, yeah.
You need to get that down. I guess he's just hoping that his Stonehill wins the Brawl now.
It never wins the Brawl. And every time I make a definitive statement, I'm wrong, and there's Stonehill wins the Brawl. No.
All right.
And then
Ysera.
Yeah, but Ysera's just going to hit a clean board, and she might even buff her health. So, yeah, this is pretty good for
this is Ysera turn all the way, I think. So
yeah, Ysera on a clean board. Brawl's just been played. You know what the 2 cards in his hand are? That's a good card. Let's see what she gets off of her Ysera. You're hoping for like no Laughing Sisters. You want like Awakens.
Ysera Awakens.
That's the one.
All right, so he's going to go ahead and Hero Power, and then I think he's going to go ahead and drop the Sulfuris here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't clear the Ysera. I mean, you got to play the Direhorn Hatchling, I guess, but it's just going to die to Shadow Word Death. Yeah, hitting the face isn't really... I mean, I guess it's what you want, because... Well, yeah, Sarah Awakens will actually...
Face is actually... Yeah.
Yeah, now...
Faces...
Awakens gets worse. But she can always heal her own face, but she can't really afford to Awakens.
Well, yeah, Ham is just 1 hero power away from ending the game. Also, I can't heal out of range of that.
So knowing that, I think you just go as wide as possible, and you Divine Shield.
Yeah, Divine Shield, protect it here. And then, yep, Hero Power, the face, and then...
I don't know. I liked going wide. Just, it's odds, man. You just have to play the odds. You're giving them 20% chance to hit your face instead of a 25% chance to hit your face.
There's still a brawl in the deck. I can make an argument to slam first and see if you can draw your brawl here.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you definitely slam first.
All right, so did not draw the brawl.
Die Insect, it does not hit the face. Well, I mean, now it pays off because she's closer to getting out of Die Insect range.
So Ham cannot be targeted from this Ornery Direhorn to survive another turn.
Yeah. Oh, you can go Direhorn Hatchling. So with
that's game.
Yeah, this game. Yeah, Shadow War Pain will easily take care of the Direhorn Hatchling, and 9 will be going to the face. So Asana wins game number 2.
To be fair, that was Ham. I mean, that was the 4th Shadow Word Pain of the game. Yeah. So Ham may be thinking it's more likely that Asuna has the death than the other pain.
Yeah, you can't play around it, but you do know that your Direhorn has a chance to not be targeted, with the adapt, and it's pretty likely. It's like 60-some% that you get the adapt you're looking for, right?
It's not. No, I think it's like
30. It's like 33% chance
to get
approximately 30 because it's one. You're looking for 1 in 10, and you get an option of 3.
Because he only has 1 adapt. It's not like Volcanosaur.
But you're looking for 1 in 10, then 1 in 9, and then 1 in 8. So, I mean, it's a little bit better than 30%, but I get what you're saying.
So, Asuna is actually playing Pirate Warrior here. Which I think she banned the Shaman, correct? Or she banned the Priest?
Yeah, she banned the Priest. Pirate Warrior is just one of those decks that's always just going to be around because it's so powerful and it has so much off the board damage and mortal strikes, heroic strikes, weapons. It's just it can get through a lot of things that the control decks want to control, like minions. So I like it.
That control decks want to control.
You know what? I couldn't.
Damn right.
I couldn't find the words, but you guys all knew what I meant. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So
Mark sounds always mean to me.
Asuna picked up the South Sea Deckhand, but it looks like she's actually going to upgrade and coin out the Dread Corsair, which I mean seems reasonable. It's a 3/3.
I definitely would have just coined out a Frothing there.
Oh yeah.
Because Cam just can't deal with that Frothing at all. Sometimes he can deal with this Dread Corsair. I mean, this isn't a bad play, but I would have liked to see the Frothing.
I like getting the Frothing on the board as early as possible. I would put it on the board turn 1 if it was at all possible. But yeah, the earlier the Frothing, the better. Especially when you're holding the deckhand, because if he puts a minion on the board to respond, you just charge the deckhand in.
All right, so for Ham here, just going to Frostbolt it down. Yeah, this seems like a reasonable Frothing Berserker turn now.
It is.
Next turn you can South Sea and South Sea, or we'll do both South Seas, Deckhand and Captain.
Yeah, it's strange because going into Mage's turn 4 they have Fireball, and they're pretty likely to have it. So Berserker is not as good as it was last turn, but it's still good enough in case they don't have that Fireball.
Which, of course, Ham does. So.
He does, and he's debating on whether or not he wants to actually Fireball that Captain, and you have to. You have to Fireball.
Yeah. You really just don't have a choice. You can't let that card live.
Yeah, you can't. There's too many things that can happen that are just broken. Naga Corsair is really good here. You just squeeze one more damage out of this hook before it dies.
I was going to say, I guess that's probably the more reasonable option. I would say with Arcanite Reaper in hand, it's well, of course, now I'm going to be squeezing 6. Because you're likely swing with Arcanite Reaper too, so that probably doesn't help.
Yeah, and the deckhand's not going anywhere, and it's nice to have around just in case the board gets cleared and you pick up a Cultist. It's just a 1-mana Cultist activator, which is pretty cool. So,
I mean, it's just a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and he's not going anywhere, and you could just use him as 2-mana burn damage at the end of the game.
All right, so Asuna is going to...
Which is exactly what's going to happen.
Ham. Luckily for Ham, he has these 2 ice blocks in hand. He's really going to need them because right now he is going to get his block pop next turn. I do think he has to just valet and take out this 5/4 though.
Absolutely, every time. He's gonna get popped. Suna's gonna run out of charges on the weapon. But you know, she has more weapons. She's still got 2 fiery war axes. She's still got another upgrade. She's still got another Insoth's first mate. She's got 2 mortal strikes probably. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of burn left in this Pirate Warrior deck, so she is by no means out of it.
Now, here's what's interesting: is she has to pop them at 5. She can't pop them at 2.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
you're
very
right.
interesting. So that's really tough. I mean, I think that's what she's thinking. Do I want to pop them at 5? And the answer is yes. You really want to pop them at 5.
I mean, I think you have to do it, right? You still have to pop the block.
I would say, knowing if they have the ice block in hand, they have to use at least half their mana on the next turn, or about half to just play the ice block, and they can't really do anything else. Then,
yeah, I think it makes sense, right? Like you said, your opponent has to spend mana. They can't defensive Alex yet.
Now that being said, going into turn 7 against the mage, I don't know if I would drop the Frothing Berserker.
No, it's actually fine because
you have to drop the Frothing, right?
Yeah, you have to, because if he can't play Flame Strike here. He cannot. He's got to develop the ice block. So if he's got other ways to remove, it just buffs your Frothing.
Sure.
So he's actually playing with 4 mana right now, Ham. So what can the mage do with 4 mana that really ruins your day? The answer is not a whole lot. Oh no, he's going in.
I think this is the right play. Like, I don't think Ham ever wins the game if he just blocks there. This way, if his opponent doesn't have the damage, he can sometimes win.
Selena did pick up the Fiery War Axe, so be able to get him down to 2, but 2 is not 0. And so Ham will be able to play this ice block next turn.
Yeah, he'll be able to play the ice block, but he doesn't have any way to clear the Frothing just yet. Let's see what Babbling Book gives him.
Do Babbling Book first, yeah. So, all right.
Yep. Sequencing, that's not going to help.
No, not going to help at all. I guess maybe next turn if you want to have 2 Medivh for some reason. You can.
Counterspell could be big here.
It could be, yeah.
No, you play the counterspell. I guess it doesn't matter this turn.
No, I like the Thalnos.
I mean, upgrade can come out here, and then once upgrade hits, you're roasted, toasted. I guess. I don't know.
Well, Thalnos gets him closer to drawing defensive Alex because he gets popped no matter what.
Yeah, that's true.
Thalnos, really the only way Ham wins from this position is getting something off of Glyph or drawing defensive Alex. So I think Thalnos makes sense.
If only Asuna had that dank Spellbreaker tech.
So I'm pretty sure. I think Ham needs to just put the Frothing Berserker into the
you put
into face.
Yeah, I think you put the Frothing Berserker into the face, and then I think you just you could chill with your weapon. You don't have to kill anything because you're still a world away from dying, and you might need that last charge. Again, it's off-board damage, so even if Ham clears your board, you just swing it through and you win, unless they find a card named Alexstrasza or Ice Barrier.
Yeah, and judging by the counterspell, I don't think Ham is running Barrier in this deck. Barrier is definitely being phased out of Burn Mage lists, at least for ladder. It could make sense in THL if you're predicting aggro.
Whoa, no, don't use your weapon. That's 3 free damage next turn. Gonna use a weapon to clear off the Mana Worm here.
I still think it's fine. Yeah, there's nothing that Ham could really do here, so it's fine.
I mean, it's not that unlikely that Ham has removal for this board. He doesn't right now, but I think it was pretty likely. He'll need to pick up something off Thalnos.
It's pretty likely that he does. I agree, but it's going to end up being okay.
So, I mean, get rid of the Frothing Berserker. He's still dead, though.
Yeah, no, there's nothing you can do. It's just... you rest in pepperoni at this point. Remember, guys, stick around because me and Markshire are going to yell at each other after this match. So
it's
I can't wait.
Entertaining.
So Serena wins the match 3-0. That's a sweep for Team Golden Wisp.
Congratulations to Suna. Very well played on her end. I would absolutely.
Yes, very well played.
Yeah, I commend that for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say pretty well played. Well played on both sides. I think we saw a couple positioning errors out of Pam in that first game, but overall, I don't think he played too poorly.
No, absolutely not. He definitely did not play poorly. And positioning errors are the easiest errors to make because unless you have someone like coaching you through positioning, you never really understand why it's important. It's definitely like the hardest thing to grasp in Hearthstone, I think, is positioning. So like especially with like Zoo decks and the Flame Tongue, so can't really fault.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say a lot of 5 seeds are 5 seeds because of A, collection, and B, experience. So I would think like you could just point to experience and then say really fault an inexperienced player for that.
Yeah, I mean, when I started getting into competitive Hearthstone, Zoo was really popular and it was a really cheap deck. So I learned a lot about positioning just by playing that deck a lot, where it's really important. It's unfortunate that it's out of the meta now.
You win and lose games based off of positioning with Zoo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like it's tough. Like, yeah, it is unfortunate that Zoo's out of the meta. I wish that Zoo could get out of the meta. And like the only reason Zoo would ever be in meta is just to beat up on Quest Rogue. Hey, look, a segue, which is now getting banned. So me and Markshire disagreed completely on Blizzard the getting the ban. I think they got the ban, not the ban, but the nerf completely wrong. And you think it's an okay nerf, correct?
Well, I think it's fine. So the objective of the nerf, right? The frustrating part about the quest for most people, at least from what I gathered from their Q&A today, which I didn't watch, but I read a little write up on it. It's the frustrating part isn't exactly changed because they just added one more bounce, but I think it effectively removes it from the game because now, in my opinion, the deck's going to be unplayable. So I think it's a completely fine nerf.
So for me, the frustrating part about Quest Rogue is the 0 mana cards that are completely broken within the context of that deck that limit design space for Hearthstone as a whole. So like cards like Shadow Step and Preparation, right? So Shadow Step, like one, you could have it be 0 mana. That's fine. But why do you have to discount the card you're picking up by another 2 mana? The act of actually picking up a card off the board is already insanely powerful enough as it is. You can fully heal a minion. You could replay it for its battle cry effect. There's already a lot of benefits to doing that. Plus, you're getting it discounted now, so then you could just like glacial. You can get like 3 to 5 glacial shards a turn. I know it sounds stupid, but it's possible. You could like freeze, and you spend like 2 mana to do it, like 3 mana really, but still, that's broken. And then prep, just being able to discount the cost of your quest by 3 is absolutely insane. Like those are the cards that Blizzard should have gone after on this nerf, but they didn't. And I think that. Go ahead.
Well, no. So the thing is, those cards I think are only broken within the context of Quest Rogue, though. Like Shadow Step for the entirety of Hearthstone's existence has not been a broken card. In fact, it usually hasn't even seen play. Like the last time Shadow Step saw play was back in like really old Miracle when they relied on that Leroy Shadow Step Cold Blood combo to win. Like I think the card taken at face value is not overpowered at all.
So the thing is you say that it doesn't see play, but that's because Blizzard just sucks at designing Rogue, and they don't give Rogue good cards. They give Rogue a good card once, and you see how absolutely broken this card is. And you're like, okay, well, it only sees plays in the context of this deck. So if they ever give Rogue good cards, the card becomes broken. So thus it limits design space for Rogue.
Well, no, I mean, they would have to give Rogue very specific cards. Like, I can't actually think of something besides the Rogue quest that would make Shadow Step broken. Like, it really isn't that good of a card because it's never going to, like, it's not great in the early game, and it's never something that's going to give you card advantage because you have to take back one of your minions that's already on the board in order to replay it. And, like, battle cries in general are just not powerful enough to warrant including that entire card in your deck. I mean, there's a reason that it doesn't see play in Miracle at all.
Well, it doesn't see play in Miracle because you don't want to pick up your Miracle minions ever. But, I mean, there is situations where it can be good with Edwin Van Cleef, But if you're just playing it, picking it up, playing it again. But the thing is, it's like it's even taking away, Shadow Step. Preparation is the biggest offender by far in that deck. I mean,
like preparation is an extremely powerful card in Quest Rogue. I'll give you that. But honestly, like in all other Rogue archetypes that have existed, it is the card that Rogue really needs to have any sort of chance against aggro, right? Like it needs that early game tempo to get that big Edwin out, or to get that 0 mana Fan of Knives, or a 0 mana Eviscerate or something. Like it needs that in order to stay competitively viable. They could have changed the quest by making it say like a minion to make it unpreppable. I think that's a possible change. But I don't think they should change the card prep alone.
I think that one, Rogue is under no obligation to be competitively viable. So like you don't have to make it competitively viable, right? And not to mention, like, it's not my fault that Blizzard can't design a class. So because they couldn't design Rogue properly, they have to give Rogue this broken card which gives you stuff for free, so just to make it stay in the game. Like, no, design your classes better. Give Rogue an actual identity and actual cards that can compete. Like if you look at Rogue's basic cards, like outside of like Prep and Abyss, and like they're all just really bad cards, and they never give it good cards during the expansions. So like because they never give it good cards, like I just have to sit there and be like, well, this card's broken. Like why is that? Why is that a thing? Like how is that a good solution?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know where Blizzard is going designing Rogue either. I remember, I think, an interview several months ago when they said that the core of Rogue is like wacky tricks or something. I'm definitely getting that quote wrong, but it had something to do with tricks, or it was like tricky something, and I was like, I have no idea what that even means.
Yeah, I remember that, like little tricks. Like, Will, like weigh in on this. Where do you land with all this?
Okay, so here's sort of where I'm thinking of this right now, is that currently in the current iteration of Quest Rogue, there are 8 bounce effects. Now, of course, I realize there are some things that offset this, like Mimic Pod. Your Elemental package that you run in there will typically offset some of those as well. But let's say you're just going straight off of the straight bounce effects. You're only looking at 8, and by 8, I'm also counting 2 vanishes, which,
right?
Yeah, in there, which is a 3 mana bounce, which is not even remotely kind of the most reasonable bounce effect.
No, it's not very efficient.
Not very efficient. Yeah. So the way that I'm looking at it is, so now you move it to where you have to have 5 of your total 8 bounce effects in order to be able to. Well, actually, no, you need 4.
Yeah.
So before you needed less than 4. You only needed 3 bounce effects to complete the quest. To 50%, so you have to have 50% of your bounce effects in a 30-card deck. I think just the numbers alone push it out. Is like I don't see how you can actually hope to get 50% of your bounce effects during a game. Now it might move to a more mid-range package. I could see it moving to more instead of an more aggro control or aggro combo. I could see it moving to a mid-range combo possibly, but it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to kill you on turn 5, and you have absolutely nothing you can do about this. It's not going to turn into that type of deck. And so I think the nerf is good. I think it doesn't completely kill the deck, and I can see certain circumstances, say like if, and even in Conquest, if you have an opponent who likes bringing control lineups, I could still see the argument to potentially bring Quest Rogue to THL.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good against control, right? So, like, that's the thing. That's the draw to Quest Rogue. It beats control decks. Doesn't it still kind of do that?
Well, I mean, I don't think yes, you could say that the draw is it beats control decks, but like the reason that Quest Rogue sees any play at all is because its win rates against aggro and mid range are good enough to mean that you don't auto lose to them when you play against it on ladder. If you can somehow make the read that your opponent is definitely going to be bringing 4 control decks, then maybe you bring it in THL. But I just think that like the nerf makes it so much worse that you will have just such a low win rate against any deck that isn't control that you can't justify ever playing it on ladder, or I don't even think you can justify bringing it in any open tournament, because you just in a conquest lineup, if your opponent isn't bringing control, you just cannot get a win with that deck.
You cannot. And see, that's the thing is, and especially in THL where we know our opponent's classes, even though we may not necessarily know the decks. If I see an opponent who's bringing Rogue against me, then that automatically leans me towards making my Warrior deck Pirate Warrior, or my Paladin deck Murloc Paladin, or my Druid deck Token Druid, because I know that the Rogue cannot match up with that. And the only thing that did is actually, I think overall, the main thing that it does is it makes the aggro deck so much more punishing towards the Quest Rogue. And that's ultimately what's going to push it out. Is it's going to give the control decks more time to manage, and it's going to give the aggro decks more, allow aggro decks to hit them even harder. So without moving to some more of a mid-range package, or maybe more spells, more removal, something along those lines, I can't. That's why I think the nerf is fine. I think the nerf is fine as it is right now, with just making it 5, because it's going to make it slow enough to where the aggro decks will still punish you, and it actually gives the control decks a chance to fight you.
I think my biggest problem with this card is that it was ever printed at all. I think Blizzard needs to find whoever's responsible for their testing and fire them on the spot. How can you Slick is a good point. It was tested with Thistletea. How can you test with Thistletea and say this was the best that we could come up with, and this card seems like okay, it's not super powerful and it's not super bad, it's pretty good, and it's no, this card's broken. It's absolutely insane. It should have never been printed whatsoever. It's the worst designed card in all of Hearthstone. It's okay, I'm just gonna play with my own cards until I'm ready to kill you, and then I'll worry about your cards.
Right. Well, to give them the benefit of the doubt, I mean, testing it with Thistletea is obviously horrible, but it does take a lot of games to find an optimal version of this deck. I mean, in the first week of the expansion, everyone was still playing Dog's version of the list, which had cards like Violet Teacher and Morose. And as we saw, those cards were just not getting played at all in Quest Rogue.
But so they were a lot closer than Thistletea.
Right. Yeah. I'd say but admittedly already though, I mean, even if you look at tournament lineups, say from Seed Cup Story, DreamHack, even though I know those are last year standing tournaments, but even the last few weeks of the HCT spring playoffs, you didn't see Quest Rogue. You saw usually the Giant Miracle Rogue, if people brought Rogue. And so, I mean, I think it's already sort of falling off to begin with, but I can understand from the perspective of a player who's playing on ladder, you get to say rank 17 or 16 or something like that, and then all of a sudden you're up against a deck that you cannot interact with in any way whatsoever. And it would be incredibly frustrating, especially if you're someone who likes to play control decks. So I could see. I think this nerf is not necessarily a competitive nerf, because I think in terms of competitive or tournament setup, I already think the Rogue was actually pretty much on its way out to begin with, Quest Rogue. But for that player experience on the ladder, that's where I could see, all right, that's the reason why you do it, because some people just like playing control decks. Some people like playing aggro decks. Some people, a lot of people in THL, could probably play most decks if you put them in front of them.
Yeah. I think one thing you have to consider, though, is most of ladder is what did they say? 50% of the ladder is at rank 12 or lower. So most of the ladder is going to be in that rank 17 to 18 range, somewhere around there. And a lot of those players, I don't think you're going to see a lot of aggro decks up in those ranks, because if you're playing aggro, you're generally going to win games a lot faster and be out of those ranks. So there are a lot of either players that just don't ever play, or they play control really poorly, or mid-range really poorly. And that's where Quest Rogue is going to eat up a lot of wins, and that's where you're getting a lot of the complaints from, is that section of the ladder. I don't think the competitive community was complaining about it as much, but I just absolutely hate that card.
I'm going to say, well, there's one other thing I think to consider with this nerf. Is This nerf occurred after the first expansion of a new a new year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm assuming that Blizzard actually works on these works on sets several months in advance, maybe even a year in advance. I know
they do work on about a year in advance.
About a year in advance. So, in the next expansion, let's say everybody's correct and it's Return of the Lich King. What if they put bounce effects for Rogue in Return of the Lich King? In that case, you can't keep the quest at 4. If you're going to start increasing the amount of bounce effects that a group might or that a deck might have, I think you're just begging for trouble to say, oh yeah, we're going to release more cards into the standard environment, and oh, FYI, also we're giving Rogue more bounce effects to do this.
That's interesting, right? So, yes, we could say, well, they just released an expansion. This is really fast, and they're doing a nerf. But after Gadgetzan, they did a nerf like 2 or 3 months in, and they said, you know what, we kind of liked making this change. It kept the ladder fresh again right before a new expansion. Because Hearthstone's all digital, we have the deck trackers. Like, the meta gets solved really fast. So I think we're going to see more changes coming from Blizzard. But I think it's interesting to think, like, maybe they made this specific change right now because they are going to be printing more bounce effects. And Markshire, do you think more bounce effects being printed would make this viable?
I think it would still be unplayable even if they added more like efficient bounces. And I mean, the bounce effects they couldn't be like Ancient Brewmaster or like Thistle Tea. Like they would have to be cheap. But it's just like when you look at when Quest Rogue wins against aggro or even sort of fast mid range, like it wins because it has to go off on the quest that turn, usually with like a prep to win the game. Right? Like it can't afford to wait until like turn 8 or 9 to go off on the quest, which is like what the average quest completion time is going to be. So even if it's more likely that you draw your bouncers, I think that the quest is still going to be completed at, you know, like X turns later, that it doesn't even matter. I think the deck is still just going to be bad.
I hope for my sake you're right.
But if they would have left the quest at 4 and added more bouncers into the game, then that would become more. It would make Quest Rogue more of a problem, correct?
Yeah.
So
no, I mean, if Quest Rogue can run more bounce effects, then it's like definitely tier 1, probably at legend ranks, like clearly the best deck in the game. Then you can start to say that there is a competitive problem, in addition to the problem of it being unfun to play against for some people. So
I'm gonna say, and that's why I think they did the nerf now, is because I think we're gonna see in the next 2 expansions for this year, I would not be surprised to see more, bounce effects. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see all the quests get some support. So, we'll see some new death rattles for priest. We'll see more taunts for warrior. We'll see more Murlocs for shaman.
I doubt it. I mean, they're going to have their own themes within those sets to support, and now we're just speculating, so we'll do that. But I mean, Blizzard has like Cthulhu. Cthulhu didn't get more cards throughout the sets, and I don't think the quests will get more direct support. Indirectly, they might get support, but I doubt they'll get actual specific support because they'll have their own mechanics within the sets they have to expand on.
Well, of course, but I mean, it's not unreasonable. Like, saying you put Cthulhu cards in the next set, then obviously that's not going to happen because you can't have sets that have, pump your Cthulhu +2/+2 or whatever. That doesn't make sense for whatever the next expansion is. But when you're talking more just generic things that go with the quest, so like death rattles. Okay, chances are, there's probably going to be more death rattles in the next expansion, especially if it is Rise of the Lich King. Are there going to be more taunts for warrior? Yeah, probably. We see a bunch of taunts with warrior. Are there going to be more Murlocs for shaman? Yeah, probably. It's like depending on what's there. So to expand on the quest is not the same as expanding on like Cthulhu. Like Cthulhu, you have to have very specific cards to expand a Cthulhu deck. Whereas with the quests are all things that you're doing normally. I wouldn't be surprised to see more discard out of Warlock, or things like that. And so I think if you leave Quest Rogue at 4, with 2 expansions remaining in this expansion cycle, and on top of that, remember that this will be out for the next 2 years because Journey to Un'Goro does not rotate with the year of whatever's next.
Right.
It's still there. So you have potentially 5 more sets coming out before this thing rotates, and who knows what it's going to be in those 5 sets. So I believe that's why I think they had to make the change now. Is like if they did not make the change now, then we don't know what's coming in these next formats that could potentially make this whole deck even worse. Or even worse to play against, I should say.
Yeah, I think we're out of time with that.
So
yeah, we all agree with you, but we're running up against the clock here. The stream's already been going for a while. Thanks again, Will, for coming on.
It's great having me on.
Definitely appreciate it, and thanks for everyone hanging out in the chat. Real quick, Petrucci, did anyone redeem any dope rewards?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
Okay, all right, cool. We'll have that ready to go next week. Thanks, guys.
All right, night, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.